Okay, guys. So good to see you guys confirming. We can get started with the today's call, guys. Good morning, everyone. Please log in from your laptop, everybody. Please log in from your laptop. We are starting with week 1, day 2. Guys, everyone, please log in from your laptops. Take a bottle of water with you so that you can be fully focused. Everybody. So, one by one, we will start discussing the topic. Before starting with today's session, let's understand how we are maintaining all the recordings and notes. Okay. So if you are part of the WhatsApp group, already we did communication in the WhatsApp itself. Everyone, please focus. We are starting with the topic. So all the recordings material will be maintained in this Google Drive location. Okay. So yesterday in the WhatsApp channel, we have shared the link of this session material V1. So all the week 1 related topics will be available here. Whatever we completed during the live session yesterday. So in my notepad, whatever I keep writing during live, you can find that under this live session notes. This is the document. Next, all the diagrams that we draw during live will be available here. Plus all the written notes are also there. Okay, some of the members are already on that page. Next, whatever session we do, it is recorded. So AI is going to do a summary of that. So in the next tab, you can see the AI summary about the entire session from the beginning till the end, key points. You can take this, you can paste this into ChatGPT and do whatever question answer you want about the bullet point summary, this, that, and ask further questions on top of whatever is being discussed. Plus, if you read this, you will catch it more quickly. So that is one. Second, if any documents that we will be sharing will be added as part of the project docs related folder, and all the recordings will be available in this session recordings. So yesterday was the day number 1. So accordingly, the day number 1 related updates are there. The YouTube session of that, the session notes of that, what attendance is there, attendance code for that, any links that we refer during the live session, we will be putting all the links here, and a quick summary about the main topics that we discuss. So today, when today's session is completed, we will be updating that also here. Okay. And we will add one more document here itself today about all the other links, like task link is also there. So we will be doing that as well. So guys, all you need to do is just maintain this link with you, and all the week 1 related information, you can find it here only. So I'm copying this and sharing it with you. So guys, please keep this with you. Okay, all the material will be available here. Next, the second point, guys, please note, daily tasks will be there. So yesterday we had our 4 tasks. All the tasks are also centrally managed. So we have another task tracking form. So I will share this link also right now with you. So just fill up your details, your name, LinkedIn profile is optional. And daily, there is going to be task updated in the same form. So you are just supposed to mark your status once you are done with the task. So yesterday we did 3rd of August, and there were 4 particular tasks. So on a regular basis, you need to keep updating this form with whatever is your status. If you have done something, you need to mark it as done. Okay, so I'm pasting this link also with you. Let's do right now task update of yesterday. Okay, all the members who attended yesterday's topic, let's do a quick recap of yesterday's task and update the task form also here. Everyone, please launch this. So you need to go in with your email. So daily use the same email for attendance, for this task tracking, every day same email. And then, yes, you capture that. You put in your name. LinkedIn profile is optional. And then yesterday's task related updates. What is the first task? once you have strong understanding, so you need to understand this concept. Okay, once you have a strong understanding of coding and real-time project, then how will that improve your chances to crack the interview? You need to do some analysis about that. And if you are able to understand the value of this project and how it can help you in your career, so then you can mark it as done if you have done that analysis. Okay. If you have not done any of the tasks, you can keep it into to-do status. All the members who would have already submitted the form. Okay, so let's say I click only this done and we do a submit. So what will happen? In the same form, every day you need to come and you need to click on edit your response. So for all the tasks, the same form is going to be applicable. So you need to just come and click edit your response. And then on a daily basis, more tasks will be added in the same form. So everything will be done in the same place. Just click edit your response. And now we can start filling it up. Task number 2, all the members who have read the PayPal related documentation and whatever notes we shared yesterday, in that some technical skills were also mentioned. So you should have walked through those skills and even understood PayPal just by reading the documentation, whatever they are saying. We will discuss all these things in future, but yeah, put some efforts from your side. If you have done this part yesterday, mark it as done. Otherwise, if you are in progress, you can mark it in progress. Not done, keep it as to do. Every day we need to track the actions. Only listening is not going to help. It is step number 1. Taking actions is going to help you. Step number 3, understanding all the agile related concepts. So if you are fully clear with all the agile concepts that we discussed yesterday, and you can discuss it during interview, then mark it as done. Okay, means you have to do some preparation for this, guys. Strong understanding and preparation for interview, then mark it as done. And next, whatever Jira work that we have done yesterday. So if you understood all the backlogs and how the user stories are written, and how do we move the items from backlog to sprint, start the sprint, accordingly, you mark it as done. So depending upon your status, please complete these 4 things. On a daily basis, tasks will be updated here. Dekho guys, just finishing the topics is not going to help. Taking actions on the topic will help. So please take actions. Okay. And good to see already 206 members have already submitted this task from yesterday till today. So everybody, please fill this up. This will help you to be consistent. Okay. And guys, once you are done, please give a quick thumbs up so we can move forward with the technical topic for today. A lot of things are going to be discussed today. It is going to be a fun session. A lot of new things will be coming up. Once you are done with the task submission, please give a quick thumbs up. Then we will start with today's topic. Okay, multiple members are confirming. Awesome. Let's start, guys. Very interesting session today. Technical plus practical, both things will happen. Okay, so let's get started. Good, guys. Keep your energy high and let's start with the today's topic. So, team, as part of today's session, we will be starting with discussing Git, which is nothing but a version control system. After that, we will get into need of framework. And then we will be doing introduction of Spring and SpringBoot. In future sessions, we will get into more details about this framework. But today is only going to be the introduction of that. And then, depending upon how much time we have today, again, 3 hours, 3.5 hour session will be there. So based upon that, we will be planning our first SpringBoot application. Okay, so this is the top task for today. Guys, try to relate. Think about the entire process. Yesterday, when we started our session, everything is added into Jira. So when you are working in project, Jira needs to be tracked on a regular basis. So currently we are into our first sprint, which is 2 weeks. So we go to the board section. This is just temporary created for understanding purpose. So I'm deleting this. So whatever we do, accordingly, the Jira should be reflecting that status when you work in the projects. So this is also created only for testing purpose. So we will delete this also. So every day when you go to office, so you have to look into Jira board. Okay, what is your task? How many tasks are pending on you? Did you complete? Did you not complete? Okay. And you will go to the sprint section. We are currently understanding end-to-end working in the IT industry. So guys, this Jira board, you need to manually operate every single day when you are at work. So building the project, reflecting into Jira, both are responsibility of the developer only. So currently we are discussing this end-to-end working of the IT industry. So you need to move it from to do and then move it into in progress section. Simple drag and drop is going to happen. Okay. After that, today we will be understanding even frameworks, this, and let's see what other topics will be coming today. As and when we start working on certain topic, we will keep moving it from to do to in progress. Once we are done with that topic, we will move it into the done section. So this will be our way of operating throughout every single day as well. Okay. So what is the conclusion here? We will track our progress on Jira board on regular basis. So as part of working into the IT, let's imagine entire process of yesterday is completed. What is that process? Product owner came, went to the backlog, kept adding requirement, discussed the requirement with us. Then day one of the sprint happened. We are about to start the sprint. Sprint planning meeting will happen. Yesterday topic I am just summarizing. Sprint planning meeting, you move the items from backlog into the sprint and then you click on the start sprint. So the work is finalized. As soon as you click on start sprint, we go into the board section. And now for 2 weeks, we are supposed to complete everything from to do section and move it into done section. How do you do? Drag and drop. So we need to one by one finish, one by one do this thing. So just imagine if there is a task on you and you are supposed to do coding. Okay, so that is the scenario. You are supposed to code now. There are a lot of things. Where are you going to code? Where is your project? And how it will be done in a team. So when you are alone, you can just start doing the coding. But when you work in team, there is a different process that you need to understand. When there are multiple members working together, just imagine. Guys, everyone focus. A few things will be tricky for understanding also. So please put your focus. Just understand, sprint is starting. Okay, sprint 1 is starting. For the sprint, you said we will be doing 5 features. Now imagine there is one class in your project called as a.java. Core Java is basic understanding. Everybody should have that. So there is a class a.java which is having the method m1. Okay. Now imagine that for building these 5 features, we need to add more methods into this a.java. And 5 different developers are going to do this development. So there is a developer D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. And everybody wants to add new method into this. So let's say this guy wants to add M2 method. This guy is adding M3 method, and so on and so forth. Now guys, try to think. There is only one a.java. When the 2 weeks are completed, basic expectation is this a.java class should now have all the methods of all the people. So M2 should be there, M3 should be there, M4 should be there, M5 should be there. Now think about it. How will this be possible? There is one A.Java. People are going to code in their own laptops. How the entire code is going to be combined together? Will they wait for one another? First you finish, then I will do. First you two finish, then I will do. Or should they work in parallel? Because in the end, one final A.Java will be there, which will have the code of all the people. So guys, these kind of things start happening right at the day one at your work. Parallelly, multiple developers are modifying your code. So you learned all the core Java, but working in a project needs process awareness also. And just think about it. What if this last guy deletes the code of the other people? Because confusion can happen. He deletes the code of other people and only adds M1 and M5. He did not care about what these other guys did. So deletion might happen, overriding the code might happen, accidental mistakes might happen. People have to parallelly do development. So they are not waiting on one another. So please be aware, coding in the project needs you to be aware of what is the process part of it. So you can do the coding, but you need to know how do you do that in a proper company environment where there are multiple developers trying to modify, how this can be done in parallel. If any mistakes happen, how do you override that, revert that? And if by mistake somebody deletes a code, so we should know that which developer has done that, or somebody tried to put wrong code into the project. So we should also have the clarity that so and so developer has made so and so problem into the project. So proper tracking is required and a proper coordination is required so that the team can work together. So yeah, you want to code, but these are the problems that will come into your project. Parallelly, many people want to code. They want to combine their code together. So they should not override each other. They should be able to parallelly do the development, not wait for one another. If somebody is making mistake, it should be tracked. Who has done that mistake? Otherwise, everybody will say, I don't know. So proper tracking is required. So guys, coding is not just you take a class and you start writing functionality. It needs to follow a proper process. Okay? Guys, are we clear with this? Are you understanding that there is some problem and you cannot just straight away start doing the coding? Are you getting that? Right at the day one in your company, this is going to happen. And then if you are not aware of this process part, that adds further confusion. Okay, hey, now what is all this happening? Where should I code? All that confusion. Guys, please give a quick confirmation. Are you clear that there is some problem? Solution we will discuss. But are you clear that there is some problem? Okay. Very good. Thank you for confirmations. Let's make some notes on this together and then we will discuss the solution part. Okay. So guys, everyone, let's continue writing some conclusion. Open up your notepad. Say, sprint has started and now we want to do development. Okay. However, there are some challenges. Challenge number one, all devs might want to edit same Java class and add their functionality. So how parallel dev will happen? How to make sure they are not overriding each other's code? Next, if someone makes a mistake, we need to have proper tracking of who did what and when it happened. So these are some very serious problems. So please write down. So we need a solution for this. So we need a proper solution for this. Just write down these main problems. And now we will discuss the solution also. So guys, IT industry is a very old industry now. It's like 20, 30 years. And it's like most of the things are already solved. And now AI is coming. New ways of working is evolving. So yeah, furthermore, the industry will drastically change in the next coming 5 years. But anyways, we have to understand what is going on, and we need to adapt to the changing curve of the IT also. Okay, let's discuss the solution part. Now, for project code management, we need, don't write it, just understand. For project code management, we need some version control software. And Git is that version control software. What is a version control software? Any change that you make into the code is going to be tracked. Okay, so-and-so developer has made so-and-so modification on so-and-so time. Every change that you make into the code is going to be tracked, so that if there is any problem anywhere, we will know that who created that problem, why that problem happened first of all. And if by mistake some problem has happened, you can revert the changes also by so-and-so developer. So we need a proper tracking, and that is what is, okay, version control system. Don't write anything, just try to understand. Every change in the code needs to be tracked. So let's say when you make changes number 1, so we will say this is V1 version. A unique ID is going to be assigned. After that, you are modifying 2-3 files. Then that will be tracked as a new version. So every change into your code is going to be tracked. That is one part. Okay. Second part here is, and guys, please be aware, like Git in the market now, Git is popular, it is common and widely used. In the current times, almost majority of the projects are using Git-based version control itself. Okay. However, earlier there were some other softwares like SVN, ClearCase, but nowadays you will see almost everyone going for Git version control software itself. Today we will practically be working with Git. Okay, so let's see how it happens. So we need to keep our entire project code. We need to keep our entire project code in Git, and there is a terminology here called as repository. So we need to create a Git repository. So repository, you can just say maybe a folder, and inside that we need to add all our project code. And it will be such that every change that you do is going to be tracked there. So even a space change, even if you have deleted some file, everything is going to be tracked there. And we need that into the project, which person is making what modifications. So for n number of reasons that is needed. So point number 1, try to understand. We need to keep our entire project in Git repository so proper tracking can happen. Okay, that is point number 1. Point number 2, where should this Git repository be kept? Imagine there are 5 developers. They all want to access this. So should this Git repository be in my laptop or your laptop or whose laptop? Or should it be in a common place where a server is installed and there you'd keep it? So in the earlier time, okay, what people used to do is they used to create a server within the company itself, and there the code was kept. So they will separately set up a laptop, a server room, inside that there will be machines. In that machines, they will be installing this kind of software, and all the company developers, they will now connect to that central software and keep the code there. Okay, however, in the current time, this kind of work does not happen. Rather, we keep this Git repository in a Git hosting provider, which is nothing but some cloud service providers. So your code is going to be kept inside Git repository. Why? Because tracking can happen. But where will this Git repository will be kept? This Git repository is going to be kept in cloud hosting providers, something like Bitbucket. Atlassian company has given this Bitbucket, or something like GitHub. You would be knowing so much of code is available into GitHub. So what are these? These are cloud providers which can host Git repositories. So we need to be aware. Okay, you want to do the coding, but where to do the coding? There is a process for that. Where will the code be kept? How can you take it? How can you modify it? So please understand, your project code will be kept inside Git repository, because then only tracking will happen. Point number two, this Git repository will be kept in some Git hosting provider, which is in cloud somewhere, not in your machine, not in my machine. It is in cloud. So in case laptop crashes, this happened for many people. Rainy season, going to home, rain came, and then laptop motherboard gone, hard disk sparked, and the laptop is not turning on. But still, the project code is not at risk, because all the code is available in cloud somewhere. So even though your laptop is gone, IT support will provide you with alternate next day, and you can take the latest code and work with that. So that is the advantage, that yes, you should not have your code only in your laptop. It needs to be kept into a cloud provider, which is external, outside somewhere. Okay, let's write down these conclusions, guys. We need to maintain our code in Git repository. Okay, so this is going to be for tracking purpose. Second, this Git repo should be kept in some cloud hosting provider like Bitbucket, GitHub, etc. There are alternate providers also. So it should not be in your local laptop. Point number three, all developers connect to this cloud hosting, Git hosting providers for working with their code. Okay. Yeah. Just write down these 3 points. So now you have to understand even this part. As a developer, how do you connect with these cloud providers, and how are you supposed to work? Sprint has started. Now you are supposed to do coding, but where will you code? So there is a system for that completely. Okay, guys, first write down these 3 points. Once it is done, please confirm. Then we will get into the further understanding part. And today itself, we will do practical also of this. So today you are supposed to practically set up Git repository, do the coding also. A lot of things will be covered today, guys. One by one, we will go through. Please confirm if you have written these 3 points. Try to understand there is a need. We need to have proper tracking. It should not be with developers. It should be in central place. So these are the systems for that. Okay, guys, once you're done with these 3, please quickly confirm. Okay. Okay. Multiple members are confirming. Very good. Okay. Now, guys, this is important and a bit tricky also. So your full focus is required to understand the next point. Let's discuss what it is. Okay, everyone. Thank you for confirming. Let's focus. So when coding, you need to work with multiple Git branches. So there is a concept of now Git branches. Okay, let's try to understand what this concept is. So some time ago, we discussed one point. There is one class a.java having one method m1. Now, please be aware, if there are 5 developers, they want to do new functionality into this a.java. First thing that we want is they should do parallel development. They should not wait for one another. So everybody should be able to do their own coding without waiting for one another. then only we can do faster delivery. Otherwise, they all will say, hey, we are waiting for this developer and now we cannot do anything. So just try to understand, don't write anything. Okay. So in project, parallel development should happen. How parallel development can happen? Just imagine if this is the class A.java. What will happen? One copy of this class will be created. Guys, the way you do copy paste, let's say you go to a folder and then you do a copy paste. So what happens? Whatever code is available in A.java, it is going to be duplicated. Copy, paste. So a copy of this is going to be created, and now this developer will modify this copy. Similarly, when another developer is working, this guy is also going to create a copy of this. So they all don't work on the same A.java. They work on multiple copies of A.java. That's how parallel development can happen. So everybody is going to take a copy of the main class. So everyone will get this M1 method. Now they will start doing their own coding. So this guy is going to now do M3 method coding. This guy is now going to do M4 method coding. This guy is going to do M5 method coding. And this guy is going to do M6 method coding. So that's how parallel development can happen. So whatever is the initial code, they all will take the copy of that code and then they will modify their new functionality into this code. That is how parallel development is possible. And then what will happen? They will do their own entire testing and everything. Finally, they will merge this code back to this place. One by one, they all will merge back to the same place. So when the first guy merges, the code of M2 is going to come here. Then second guy merges, code for M3 is going to come here, and so on and so forth. That's how, guys, parallel development happens. So try to understand. They all want to do parallel development, but where are they going to do the coding? Okay, centrally code will be available, but they all don't modify the same code. They take copies of that code into their local machine and then they start modifying it in local and then testing it in local. Once their work is done, they combine it, or we say merge it into this central place. And eventually, let's say 2 weeks of sprint is completed, all the code will be combined here. And then this code, we deploy this into production system. Guys, that's how the work happens. Take a minute to absorb this. You want to do the coding, you're new to the team, where should you code? Okay, you need to take your own copy. You cannot just directly modify the central code. You have to take your own copy, get it into your local machine, then start doing the coding there, then do the testing there. Once your work is completed, get it back to the central place. By this way, all the developers will parallelly do the activities. Eventually, in 2 weeks, full features will be ready. And now we can say, let's deploy this into production. Okay. Now, these copies that we are saying, officially, the term that we use in this Git is nothing but branches. So these branches, okay, so these are nothing but branches. Whatever copy we say, you create copies by preparing branches. So that's it. Let's try to conclude this point. Okay, you don't need to write, just observe, try to understand this. We need parallel development. And this is what starts confusing to people, because day one itself in the companies all these thing is happening and you never learned all these way of working, and then confusion starts happening. People are nervous, they don't know what to do, what not to do, and then problem starts from all those initial days itself. So guys, parallel development should happen. How exactly? The code will be managed in central place, but you don't directly start coding in central place. Rather, all devs will create a copy of the code, and take to local machine and code there. Once it's coded and locally tested, then we merge into central common place. Okay, by this way, all devs code will be combined into single place in 2 weeks. Finally, we give demo of entire code and then ship it to production. No need to write it, just understand. Okay, so guys, there is a process of working. Now, let's go one more level deeper. Layer by layer, we will get into how to technically do it. So what is going to happen? Everybody, let's focus on how it is technically achieved. So first of all, we need to have our account created in some cloud provider, let's say Bitbucket. So the way yesterday we said every developer will have an account in Jira, like that everybody will have an account even in this kind of a code tracking software like Bitbucket. And in Bitbucket, there is going to be this Git repository, which will be tracking your code. Okay. Now, this Git repository is going to have multiple branches, nothing but copies. By default, it is going to have master branch, or people call it as main branch. Now, different companies might follow certain different approach, but at a high level, still, there is going to be a proper branching model in every company. You should say during interview that, yes, this is my branching model. And accordingly, you explain during the interview time. So there is some copy called as master branch or the main branch. Next, from this master branch, main branch, another branch is going to be created, nothing but a copy of this. Whatever code is available here, from there another copy will be created called as integration branch. Next, whenever a developer wants to do the development, they need to create a copy. So what will they do? They will create a copy from this integration branch and call it as feature branch. Feature branch, let's say F1. So by this way, developer D1 wants to do the development, that guy is going to create one branch for himself. Let's imagine developer D2 wants to create, that guy is going to create another branch for himself. So that is going to be feature 2 branch. Okay, feature 2 branch. This is also feature branch. So what does this mean? Whatever code is available in integration branch, a copy of that is going to be here. So let's say a.java with M1 method is going to be available here. Then when you create this branch, the same thing comes down also. So we will say this is going to be your A class having M1 method. If that code is there, and then when you create a branch out of this, so whatever is this code, a copy of this is going to be available here. When you create this another feature branch, a copy of this is going to be available here. And now, okay, developer is supposed to work upon feature branch. So guys, there is again a way of working in the industry. You want to do the code, But where the code is going to be, it will be in some Git hosting provider, which is going to keep your Git repository. In the Git repository, you need to do the coding, but where there are multiple branches into the project, there is a purpose of every branch. We will understand that slowly. There is a purpose of every branch. There is a master branch or the main branch. There is an integration branch. And then there are multiple feature branches. Whenever the sprint starts, developer is supposed to create a new branch from the integration branch, and you are supposed to do the coding here. Another developer will cut another feature branch from the integration branch and then do the development here. So guys, this is the first part of where you are supposed to do coding. Take a minute to understand this. And guys, that is the reason companies are expecting, okay, hey, everybody please work on real-time scenarios, do some internships, do some training programs, and work on real-time industry stuff, because that's how you will know how the companies work. Otherwise, this is all like people will make a mess out of this. So guys, what is the process? Let's write it down, everyone. Let's write it down. Okay. In project, we code in Git repo. This repo is kept, repo means repository, in Git hosting provider like Bitbucket or GitHub or any other alternate. That is point number one. Point number two, there are multiple branches. Branches are nothing but copies of the same code. There are multiple branches for different purpose. Today we will understand their purpose also, but one by one let's do that. There are multiple branches for different purpose. Okay, for example, main branch or master branch. Second, integration branch. Third, feature branch. There are some more branches, bug fix, hot fix. We will discuss them later. But primarily, main branch, integration branch, feature branch. Next, under feature branch, you put this. Whenever you want to start your development, create a feature branch from integration branch. So sometimes in the project, people will say, create a feature branch directly from main branch. They don't have the concept of integration. Different projects might have some different variation, but for your interviews, you say, yes, we created in this manner itself. And then once you're at the job, there you discuss whatever they are doing. Accordingly, you can adapt to that. But write down this thing. Whenever you want to start your development, create a feature branch from integration branch and you code in feature branch. Please write down. This is important because you should know where you are supposed to do the coding. Arey, you learned the entire core Java frameworks. You don't know where to do coding. It will have problems, right? Unnecessary confusion. So don't do that. Practice these things properly. And guys, once you are written with this, please give a quick confirmation. Then we will go to the next point. Okay, some of the members have completed. Very good. Try to understand, try to focus. And today we will do it practically. So you also do it practically. That will build the real confidence. Okay, multiple members are done. Awesome. Chalo, let's go one level deep now. Okay, good guys. Thank you for confirmations. Let's resume. So now what is going to happen, team? Once you have created this kind of a structure, we will discuss what you are supposed to create, what will already be created. So different people will do different things. We will discuss it one by one. But the point is, let's say you want to start a new development. So you are supposed to go to this kind of a place and then from the integration branch, cut a feature branch. If you are not creating, you should ask somebody, hey, where should I do the coding? Who is going to create the feature branch? Most of the times, individual developers itself create the feature branches for their particular feature. So please be aware, you don't code here, you don't code here. You directly code in your feature branches. How to create these feature branches, how this will be there. Okay, we will discuss that today practically. But now please understand this point. This branching structure which is created is available inside where? In your cloud repository. So this is in your cloud, means it's not in your laptop. It's there somewhere across the internet. So all of these branches, whatever this code is available, a class with M1 and this feature branch, it is not in your laptop. Everything is in cloud only. But where does the developer do the coding? In the laptop, using some IDE like Eclipse or IntelliJ or VS Code or Cursor or Anti-Gravity or whatever other tools. So what are you supposed to do? Okay, you need to get this feature branch into your local laptop. That is going to be your next work. Just understand. Then once we do it practically, you will get full understanding. For now, we are discussing this concept for the first time. So in the cloud, somewhere across the internet, feature branches are available, but you cannot directly do the coding there. You should code it into your laptops. And that is where you have your local machines. You have your local machines. This is your laptop. So what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to get this code of feature branch from this place into your local machine. So you have to now finalize where the code is going to reside, what you are going to do. But yes, you will move it into the local machine. Okay, so you need to create a folder. Okay, let's say project. Let's say you do something like project/project folder. Okay, and inside this /project folder, all of this code will come, and that code might have now many files. It can have now a.java, b.java, c.java. So all the code is now going to be available in this folder. Okay, very good. Next what? Okay, let's do some movement here. So this we will move, and this circle also, let's try to move. So this code is going to be into your local folder. There are some commands how to do that. Okay, let's already use the names here. You can do something like commands are git clone or git checkout. Using these kind of commands, you will get this code from this cloud location into your local machine. So in local machine, in certain folder, it is going to be there. But again, you don't directly code inside this folder. Where do you code? You code inside an IDE. So you will have an IDE. Let's say Eclipse is your IDE. Now, what are you supposed to do? This project which is now in local, you need to get this project into your IDE. So there is again some operation. You can simply do import operation here. And then this abc.java, basically you are just, this classes will be coming here and it will be visible. When you modify this thing, basically you are updating this place itself. Guys, this is how you do the work. So what exactly is going to happen? First, your code is going to be a Git repository, and there are multiple branches. Whenever you are doing any development, you will create a new feature branch from integration branch, and then it is going to be in cloud itself. But you do the coding into your local laptop. What are you supposed to do? Using some Git commands like git clone, git checkout, you need to take this feature branch into your local machine in one of the folder where you specify the folder. So all the code which is available here will come to this place. Now you want to do the coding. But we use IDE. So what you will do? You will use some import operation and get this project into your IDE. And now you modify your a.java with add M1 method is already there. Now you add M2 method also. When you are doing this M2 method, basically you are updating it here only. So it is not like this is a separate code, this is a separate code. No, in this place itself, you are adding the M2 method just via this IDE. Okay. So initially it is in your local. And now there is a full process. You should not keep the code in your local. Your code should again go back to the cloud. So again, there are going to be certain operations to take it back to the cloud. Because what happens? Your laptop gets crashed and you cannot just have things into your local. So there are two operations. First, you will do git add and git commit. These two commands will, let's say you modified M2 method in a.java, and then you run these two commands. It will be saving the information into your local machine itself. It will save the information into local machine itself. Next, you want this code to even go here to your feature branch. You will do git push operation. So with the git push operation, the changes will go into the cloud location. And now even if your laptop crashes or any damage happens, no problem, because the code is available here into central place. If it is only till your local, it is a problem because you have to again do the entire coding if your hard disk is wiped out. But if it is always here, no risk, that is where it is recommended that every developer on a regular basis keep pushing the code into the cloud location. Guys, take a minute to understand the entire flow. Okay? Take a minute to understand the entire flow. You need to understand the way of working of the IT industry. Okay, I'm repeating it once more. Focus. The code is going to be kept in Git repository. This Git repository is going to be in some cloud. There will be multiple branches, nothing but copies of the code. It is very important which copy you are coding around, because there will be problems otherwise. So whenever a new sprint is starting and developer wants to do the coding, you need to create a new feature branch out of integration branch. So for your project, already master branch will be created, integration branch will be created one time. Maybe project started 6 months earlier, there itself somebody created master branch and integration branch. You joined right now, so you don't have to create master and integration branches. It was done 6 months ago itself. Then what are you going to do now? You will cut a new feature branch. For every feature, you need to cut a feature branch. So you will come to the project, you will cut a new feature branch from integration branch. What is cutting a branch? Creating a copy. Whatever code is here, that code will come to you here only. And this everything is available in cloud. But we don't directly do the coding there. We code into our local machine's IDE. So how do you really work with this? First, whatever is available here, you need to make it available into your local laptop. Some Git commands are required for that, like git clone, git checkout, and you can get it into your local laptop. Next, once it is there in the folder in your laptop, you need to do the coding inside IDE. So you have to get this code imported inside your IDE. And once it is in your IDE, here you will do the coding, testing, unit testing, whatever. And once you feel that everything is fine, you will keep saving these changes properly. How do you save the changes? By doing git add and git commit. This will save the changes. Okay. And once it is done, you can push the changes into the cloud. And then the changes from your local is going to go there. Okay. There is one terminology for this. People call this as remote repository. So this is remote repository. And when we say okay, you are using git clone and git checkout operations in your local, you are getting, it is called as a local repository. Local repository. Nothing but whenever you do this git clone and checkout, you will be having your local code place that is called as a local repository. And when you push these things into your remote location, that we can say it is a remote repository. This is what is the way of working. Guys, are we clear with this? Are we clear with this? Please give a quick confirmation. And now we will practically do it. Then it will become more clear. Okay, team, please quickly confirm. Are you clear with this so far? Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So guys, you need to understand the entire process of working of the IT industry, because we do this thing every single day. So it's not like one day before interview you have to prepare on all this. Don't treat it like examination. Going forward, daily you also practice. Okay, chalo, nice, very good. Thank you for all the confirmations, guys. So let's do these things practically. Okay, so guys, chalo. Today, first thing that you want to do is create your account in Bitbucket. Okay, so I'm going to share with you one document which is having certain links about the software that needs to be installed. So tools and software, I will be sharing this document with you guys by the end of today's session. Multiple things are there. So first, you need to go to something like this. Bitbucket, right now don't do it. Right now just observe, because so many more things we are going to discuss, that if you just keep doing this practical right now itself, you will lose a lot of new points that we discuss. So currently, focus on the topic, understand it fully. Later during the day, do the practical setup. Okay, deeper understanding will happen. You are repeating the concept 2 times, better it will stay in your brain. Okay, now what is required, guys? You need to go to this bitbucket.org and then create your account there. Maybe even you can do sign in with Google or whatever and get your account created. It is open for all. One individual easily can start managing their code without getting into their any other subscriptions. So go to bitbucket.org, and that is what will be your first place, bitbucket.org. And just like any other website or application, you will go there, create your account, and then log in, and you will get this kind of a view in front of you. Okay, that is the first thing, bitbucket.org. Next, let's say you are starting a new project. So there is a way of organizing your code here. So generally it is going to be in the form of projects, and inside projects repository. So let's say your whichever project you are working in, there will be one project created inside Bitbucket, and under that multiple repositories could be there. You can right now assume every repository is a separate microservice. So when we touch microservice, then we will go through the concept again. But please be aware, in one project, 5 microservices are there. So each microservice will be a separate repository. Okay, so this is how the code is going to be organized. So how it is going to be there, guys? In Bitbucket, you will be having one project, and then inside that multiple repositories, repo 1, repo 2, repo 3, repo 4. And each repository can represent some microservice. This is microservice 1, this is microservice 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, now please be aware, these repositories could be for any programming language. So this is not a Java based only. These could be Python repositories, this could be Golang repositories, it could be any other language basically, or it could be your Java repository. So these repositories are language neutral here. So inside Bitbucket, first there will be something called as you need to create a project, and under the project you will have multiple repositories. Each repository will be for a separate microservice. Okay. So we start working on this project. Accordingly, we will go here and we need to now create a project first of all. So here you will come. Okay. So once you do your initial account creation, just follow with the regular process. Then you will come here and say, click create the project. And there you say, let's say August 26 CT. Okay. So some name will be assigned to the project. Please note, your all company projects will be private, means publicly other should not be able to see the company code. And that is where, when you are creating the project, keep it private so that it is internal and specific to you. Please be aware, by mistake also, if any project is released or leaked into live code, like publicly accessible, and it is a client code, client can put a fine on the technical company. Okay, hey, you guys have not managed and my code is now publicly just available, and some penalty will definitely come to the technical company. So please be aware, your code of the clients will always be private and proprietary. It is inside your company environment. It cannot be publicly leaked out. Okay. So please be aware of that. So project is going to be a private project. And then you click create project. Okay. So this looks like this. It's a initial project creation, not having any repositories. Now, inside this, we need to create our, let's say, first Spring Boot application. So if we take that example, we want to create our first Spring Boot application, and that is going to be in one of the Git repository. So guys, our step number one is going to be create your account there. Step number two, create project. So just imagine if you go to an existing team or a project which is already running since past 6 months, they will already have the project created, they will already have the repositories created, they will already have master branch, integration branch created. But if you are newly starting, maybe now you might be involved in all of these things. So it completely depends at what time you are joining. And let's say if you are already there, a new microservice is going to be developed which does not exist into system, then you need to create a new repository that time, and then the branching model from beginning, and then you can get started. So guys, step number one is you create your account. Step number two, you create some project. Under this project, repositories will be there. So step number three, create repository inside this project. So we already know every repository is for a separate microservice. So we can simply say, let's say our repository name is demo app, and we can just put some name to that, org26ct. It's only for naming tracking purpose, but yeah, this is our repository, demo app. Again, people follow this kind of naming convention for repositories, everything small case and hyphen separated. Okay, so everything small case and hyphen separated. That's how repository naming convention is. Okay, how do you create this? So let's say this is your repository, and then you go create repository, and then you say which project. We want August 26. So this is our project. What repository you want to create? We want to create this repository. If the project is private, all the repositories will be private by default. So you don't have to worry about it. Project is private, repositories, all 100 repositories if you are creating, everything will be private. And just go ahead, by default, this is going to create a Git repository itself. That's the default implementation. And you go ahead creating a repository. Okay. So notice, this is your project. August 26 CT is the name of your project. Under that, there is a repository created. In future, 5 more microservices are coming. For every microservice, a new repository is going to be created. You want to know more about this repository. Okay, you need to click on that repository where further now details will be available. Look at the left-hand side. Multiple options are possible onto this repository. But important thing, you go to this branches section. Notice, by default, main branch is created. So whatever we discussed here, main branch, so that is by default created. It's already available. Okay, now let's start discussing a few things. So we created our repository with the name demo app August 26 CT. And then we created what? Main branch is by default created. What is the purpose of the main branch? Okay, the code from the main branch is going to be deployed into production. So your live system, prod system, where the live customers will be there. So code from main branch is going to be deployed there. Prod system, live customers will be using this. That's where this main branch comes in picture. Okay, fine. So that is by default available. So your feature branch which you are creating, this does not get deployed into production. It will go through a journey where this feature branch will move back to integration, and then there is a process. Finally, this entire code will come to the main branch. From the main branch, it goes and gets deployed into production. We will discuss that process one by one. Don't try to complicate things. Take it step by step. There is a way of working of the IT industry. So first we understood that we need to create a feature branch and then development happens there. But now we are saying whatever you code eventually should come back to the main branch, and from the main branch, you deploy this into production. So we said, right, every branch has a purpose. Yes, that is the purpose of the main branch. And when you create this kind of a repository, main branch is by default created. Okay, what were our next steps? From the main branch, we need to create integration branch. So guys, integration branch is not created by default. So we need to create it right now. Okay, how do you create? Everything is possible from this browser itself. So you need to go to your repository, go to this branches section. Currently, just see there is a drop down here. There you can click all branches. And currently there is only one branch here called as main branch. You want to create a new branch. You just need to do create branch operation here. Again, if you are joining an existing project, integration branch will already be created. However, if you are new, you are creating this repository for the first time, you will be expected to do that. So create branch. Okay. Now you have to tell, always the branch will be created from some other branch. It's a copy. The copy of what? You have to specify. We need to create a copy from main branch. So whatever is available in the main branch, we want that to come inside integration branch. That's how you give the name to your branch. Okay. So whatever is available in main branch, you want to create a copy of that, which is nothing but with the name integration branch. And that's it. You just choose this and you click on create. Okay, by that way, go back to these branches here. Click on this all branches and you will see now there are two branches created. There is a main branch created and now there is an integration branch also created. Two branches are created. Okay, what is the purpose of this integration branch? Now let's discuss that. The code from integration branch is going to be deployed in QA environment for testing, tester environment. So what are these environments? In AWS, there will be some servers running where you will do the deployment. So let's say in AWS, there is going to be AWS QA environment. Here, some set of machines will be there where your code is going to execute, database is going to be installed. So integration branch is going to be deployed here and testers will be doing the testing. Testers will be doing the testing here. What is this production system? Live customers will be using this. Live customers are going to use this. So this is how integration branch is needed. So you will not give your feature branches to the testers to test. No, the entire code of all the developers should be combined to an integration branch. From there, it will get deployed. Some of you guys might say, Arey, all this is very complex. Right in the beginning of your projects, this complexity will come because you have to understand how the IT industry works. Somewhere all these things are not discussed into your college syllabus or into your past knowledge, but IT needs it. So that is where companies are saying, hey, please go ahead, work on real projects so that you understand how the IT works. And then your life is going to be simple. And that's where practice these things. It is not about knowing it one time. Okay, guys, are we clear with this so far? Please quickly confirm. Are you clear with this so far? Team, are you clear with this so far? Please quickly confirm. Okay. Okay. Multiple members are confirming. Very good. Today, you are supposed to do these things practically, and then it is going to be interesting because when you do it, then deeper understanding will be formed. Okay. Okay, guys. Pretty good. Chalo, let's take some notes concluding whatever we have done so far. Then we will go to the next point. Okay. Chalo, guys. Thank you for confirmations. Let's move forward. Okay. So, guys, everyone, please open up your notepad and let's do some conclusion. Point number 1. Your project code will be in Git repo and kept in, let's say, Bitbucket. We wrote it earlier, but let's write it again. So we can keep re-summarizing the understanding in our mind. So your project code will be in Git repo and kept in Bitbucket. Okay, step number 2, create your Bitbucket account. Create your Bitbucket account. Step number 3, create a private project in Bitbucket. Step number 4, create your first repository, which is nothing but whatever name you can give, demo app, and let's say August 26 CT. So this is your repository. Next, step number 5, how to create this repository and all, we have already seen all that. Next, by default, main branch will be created. What is the purpose of the main branch? Code from main branch will be deployed into production and live customers or users will use it. Awesome. So live, that's it. So you're not supposed to directly do any modifications into the main branch. A proper code review and all that process comes in picture before anybody gets into the main branch. Okay, step number 6. Step number 6. From main branch, create a integration branch. Create a integration branch. So we already saw the operation for that. Simple. Create a branch operation, and that's how you do it. And what is the significance of this? Code from integration branch will be deployed for in AWS QA environment. What is QA? Quality analyst. Nothing but testers. Okay, quality analyst. These are nothing but the testers of the team. So code from this is going to be deployed into the QA environment, and testers will be testing the features here. Okay, that is the point number 6. So by default, main branch is created. Step number 6, create an integration branch from main branch. Okay. So far, we have completed till this actions. So if it is an existing project, you might find all these things already done. And now you are supposed to just start working on a new feature. Okay. Chalo guys, let's go further. Let's move further. Now, the sprint is starting. Okay. Sprint is starting and it is day 1. You are supposed to do coding. What will you do? You don't code in main, you don't code in integration, you code in feature. So what will be your work will be? First step, don't write anything, just understand. You will identify for this feature which Git repository you need to modify. You might have 100 repositories. Your feature might need changes only into 2 repositories. So you will work with only 2 repositories. That's how it is, right? So whenever you are starting a feature, you need to understand, okay, whatever changes you will do, in which repositories it is going to be there. You have 100 microservices. You are changing only 2 microservices. So you need to work with only 2 repositories for that feature. So you will identify for this feature, which Git repository you need to modify. So not everything. What is going to be a step number 2? Create feature branch. Don't write it, just understand, please. Create feature branch from integration branch. Now, how will that happen? Array, the way we earlier created an integration branch, same way we can create now a feature branch also. So guys, we will go back here into Bitbucket, come to this branches section again, and then we already have 2 branches with us, main and integration. Now we need to create a 3rd branch. So be very careful from where are you copying, okay? So this from branch is very important, because whatever code is available in from branch, that code will come to you. So you need to be very careful with this, okay? So we are saying from integration branch, we need to create some feature branch. So let's say for now, we will just call it F1. And what is the type of this branch? You can choose the type also. Just see, multiple types are available. Integration branch we choose in other category. We did not set it up anywhere. However, when you start with the feature, you can say it is a feature branch. Okay. So there are different types of branches, like bug fix branches there, hot fix branches there, release branches there. What are these different things? Okay, it will be needed at different times. So once we are understanding the working process of the IT, we will discuss these other areas also. For now, we are dealing with feature branch. So yes, we need to choose it as a feature branch. And you have to give some logical name to this feature branch. I'm just calling it as F1. You can simply say this is the first app, okay? Or that's it. You can just simply say your first Spring Boot app. First Spring Boot, okay, app setup, whatever. So you can give some name logically defining what you are going to do in this branch. And that's it. From, be careful, from integration branch, you're creating a feature branch. This will be the name. Click create. Okay. So here we go. And now what we have done is, From this integration branch, we have created a feature branch. So a feature branch is created. Now, everything is in cloud only. We did not do anything in local machine. We are doing everything in browser on bitbucket.org. It's happening directly in cloud. But you cannot do the coding there. You do the coding into your local. So how exactly to do that? How you can have these things with you? Some time ago, we said already using some commands like git clone, git checkout. But guys, now there are multiple options. Developer will choose whatever they are comfortable with. Okay, so now our next aim is you need to get this code to your local for working. You can go forward with a command line approach. Command line approach, CLI, command line interface, or you can go with a graphical GUI interface. So again, different developers will choose different tools in the IT. Whichever you are comfortable, you can accordingly check on that tool. So either you can learn now all the Git commands and work with the commands to do it, or if you find a more convenient way, so we are going to use more convenient way, which is simply using a graphical tool, and that tool name is source tree. Again, multiple graphical tools might be available, whichever one you are comfortable. Now it's a developer choice what you want to do. Dekho, aim is clear. Whatever code is there in remote, that should come to your local. How you do it, what tools you do it, what process you follow for that, it's a developer choice. If you say I am very comfortable with command line, I will use that only. Okay, do that. Somebody says I'm comfortable with graphical, do that. In graphical, multiple tools might be there. We are working with one tool, source tree. Source tree is also given by Atlassian company itself. And with your Bitbucket, look here, direct option of source tree integration is there. If you click on this checkout in source tree, it will be nicely working with your graphical user interface itself. So we don't have to really work with these kind of git commands. Not really required. You can operate based upon source tree. But again, I'm saying it is an individual developer choice. You choose. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Our next process will be, we need to install source tree into our laptop. Okay. So our next process will be install, don't write anything, just try to understand. Install source tree in laptop. So you can just simply go to this kind of a location, sourcetreeapp.com, or you just go to Google, search for it, download source tree for yourself. Basically, two operating systems are supported, Mac is supported and Windows is supported. So Linux users don't have this option. If anybody is using Linux-based operating system, Fedora-based operating system, so you don't have an option of source tree there. So in that case, look for alternate graphical user interface compatible to your OS, or switch to a command line approach. But yes, most of the development machines will be Mac or Windows. That's a very common practice. So these guys have provided two options. And yeah, they have further explained it, how it looks like, blah, blah, blah. You can simply go get it and do the setup. So in my laptop, source tree is already there, and I have even launched it here as well. This looks like a source tree. So now you need to download it. It's just another software, exe, continue, next, finish, whatever approvals required, give it, and it is going to be there. Few things you focus on source tree installation. Okay, what is that? While you are installing source tree, it is going to say, do you want to install Git also together? So yes, check mark on that one. Okay, so you don't have to then separately install Git in your laptop. Along with source tree, there will be an option, do you want the Git software also? So yes, you should enable that. And it is going to have another option like Mercurial. Okay, some like this name. So we don't need this. This is a different kind of a tracking. So uncheck this. So this is important to note. While you are installing your source tree, so install Git option. So some checkbox will come. Yes, you need to do that. And this option you don't need. So simply uncheck it because we are not going to use this software. Okay, that is point one to be understood. Point two to be understood. When you are installing the source tree, it is going to give you the option, okay, do you want to connect to your Bitbucket also? So yes, you should connect. Okay, so it is going to give you an option, add your Bitbucket account. So just choose that Bitbucket account. Remaining things are pretty much self-explanatory. Wherever you are stuck, not able to do, take the screenshots, put it to ChatGPT and ask you, what should I do, what should I not do? Or go to YouTube, figure it out, read some blogs, but get the software part set up for yourself. Okay, so just continue with the rest of the process, and yes, add your Bitbucket account. So it will give you the option, and then maybe it will redirect you to the browser. So in order to do that, you should be logged in into your browser, and then you do a click. It will go to your default browser. There may be a quick approval might happen, and then you will be logged in automatically. Okay? So this is how the work can happen. And that's it. You continue with the rest of the process, add your Bitbucket account while the setup is happening, and then you simply have it running, and it will be opened like this. Due to whatever reason, if you did not link this source tree to your Bitbucket, you have a second option also, which is nothing but you can simply launch it here and then click on remote. Okay, and then you can click on add an account. So currently my Bitbucket account is already linked with my source tree. So I am able to see all my repositories which are available inside Bitbucket. So if your account is linked, source tree by default will show all your repositories here as well. Okay, for example, right now, let's try to check. Right now we created our repository. What is the name of our repository? Demo app. So if you go here and try to do a search of this, it is visible here. And just notice, this is one of the options. So you can simply go to a new tab, go to the remote, choose your remote location, and then search for your repository. And here itself, clone option is available. You click on this clone, and you will be able to get the setup into your local laptop. Okay, so this is one of the approach. How to add this from here? Simply click on add an account, and here in the drop down you can choose Bitbucket. Let's say you want even GitHub to be there, so you can even link GitHub with source tree also. Multiple options are there. GitLab is another Git hosting provider, so you can even choose GitLab also. So guys, the choice is yours. Source tree allows you to work with multiple destination Git hosting providers. Okay, so just continue with whatever process. But guys, your basic aim is, the basic aim of this operation is source tree should be ready. Okay, source tree should be ready in your laptop. Second, Git should be installed. And when you do this, Git will come by default. If you enable that, so please enable it. And next thing will be source tree should be linked with your Bitbucket account. Bitbucket account. So this all operation should be completed. Then only you can move to the next area. Okay, guys, quickly mention a note in your notepad. Install source tree. Install source tree. Choose Git install. Install source tree. Choose Git during installation. and link with your Bitbucket account. So this linking you can do during installation, or later on also you can come and do it multiple ways. But yeah, these 3 steps are required. So first you created Bitbucket and repositories, all that. Next is you need the software. Then only you can get the things into your local. You are saying I want to go with a command line, then source tree not required. Just install Git, work with the commands, and you are good to go. It's a developer choice. I'm telling it again and again. Whatever you feel is more comfortable, you use that. Okay, team, once you're done, please quickly confirm. Once you have written with this, please confirm. Team, once you're written, please confirm, then we will move further. So along with what to code, how to code, the process is very important when you work in the companies. Okay, good. Multiple members are done. Chalo guys, please quickly confirm. Okay, awesome. Multiple guys are done. Very good, guys. Let's move further. So source tree is ready. It is installed. This is taken care. Now comes the next point. Feature branch is, guys, this is important. Please focus. Feature branch is in cloud. We need to get into local. There are basically 2 operations, clone operations and checkout operation. For all the beginner level guys, I will suggest use the clone operation only. This is enough. Okay. Later, once you start getting some handle on working with Git, then you go to checkout, because I have seen people really create some mess using the checkout operation, and that really loses a lot of time. So initially, I will suggest always go ahead with the clone related operation for getting that code from that place to your local machine. Okay, fine. So how exactly you can do that? Let's try to recollect our understanding in the diagram, guys. Currently, this is the feature branch. Locally, you have to create a folder, and this clone means whatever is available there is supposed to come into your local folder. So what does this mean? We need to finalize a local folder. Finalize a local folder where you will keep the synced code, or where you will keep the local Git repo for the feature branch. You need to have one working folder. So it is important of what path you choose. Okay. For example, let's say if I choose D drive, CT workspace, August 26. So please note, all the project related things we can put inside this location. Now guys, again, this is guidelines. It will help you to organize your local folder also in a proper manner. But again, this is also a developer choice, how you want to organize your local. But I will suggest you to go ahead with like this, because for many years, I recommend the same to all the new juniors who join my team. It helps them also to be very organized. So you need to choose one folder path, and all your current project related things should belong under this same folder. Even if you have 100 microservice, internally you do proper nesting, but one proper folder you will create into local. Under this, everything is going to be available. Now subfolders and all you can create. Now for all the Git repositories, we are going to create a subfolder here with the name /repo. So all the repositories are going to be under this. Now, currently we are dealing with which repository? We are dealing with demo app repository. So our further subfolder nesting is going to be what? Under the repo, we will say demo app repository. But now demo app repository is having multiple branches. master, integration, feature. So under this, we are going to create one more feature, let's say demo app, and something which talks about this feature branch, and it could be, let's say, first app setup. So you create one more folder which helps you to identify this feature branch. Let's say tomorrow you want to do some exploration in integration branch. So that you will put it under this kind of a location, integration. So under integration, now you will have the entire code of the integration. Please note, these are multiple copies. The point here is organize your local file system. This is what we are telling. Because once you organize, you can work with multiple repositories, multiple branches, and not mix and match in one another. That is what it is. Okay? So guys, all the project related information will be available here. Under that, now multiple subfolders will do whatever rest of the work required. For all the Git repositories, we will be putting here. Even if you have 100 repositories, it will be here. Currently, we are working with repository 1. So we will create a folder like that. Under that, for every branch, a new folder will be there, and your code will be available here. By this way, this syncing is going to be created. Whatever this remote repository is there, correspondingly, a local repository will be created in this folder path. Okay, guys, are we clear with this? Please quickly confirm. Are we clear with this? Local folder path should be very nicely organized. Please quickly confirm, are we clear with this? Then we will move further to practically doing the setup. Okay. Some of the guys are already confirming. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, guys, very good. Let's make a quick note about this, team. Nice, nice. Thank you for all the confirmations. Let's make a quick note. Keep your local machine organized. Where should the project code and rest of the files maintained? It has to be done like that. Okay, so you just write it down. You can fix one path under which all project resources will be available, and generally people call it as a workspace, WS workspace or whatever. Okay, next, create /workspace/ repo, and here you will maintain your Git repos. Next concept is what? Under repo folder, for every repository, one folder. Next, under the repository folder, you create one more folder for every branch. Create one more folder for every branch. And yes, then you have to git clone into that folder. Next, git clone, write branch into right folder. So this is important. Just write down these things. This will help you in your thinking process. Being locally organized is very important, guys, because when you work in big projects, having like 50 microservices, so many branches, it will become very confusing. Where are you doing what modification? So your local file system should be very good. When early days in my IT career, I started, my senior managers also suggested me this kind of working, and they said the life really becomes simple, and it is like awesome way of organizing your local workspace. Okay, and I suggest the same to all the beginners also. Okay, now let's do the clone operation. So how are we going to do? Multiple ways are there. We showed one of the way. Let's try the another way right now. So we will go here. Everyone, let's focus back. Pending things you can write later. So you go to this place. Go to your branch. Which branch we want? Developer is supposed to code in feature branch. So you will go to your feature branch. And then you will say checkout in source tree. Okay, click checkout in source tree. Since source tree is already installed in your laptop, it will go through certain process, okay, to give you like this kind of a pop-up where you go ahead with a clone new operation. So basically this is key which branch and where do you want to copy it. So right now we finalized, we will be putting our code inside. Okay, first of all, this is our workspace. This is our workspace. Under this workspace slash repo folder, and under that we will be having name of our Git repository. Under that we will be having, let's say, demo, branch name, first Spring Boot app. So whatever we have noted down, same kind of path we are doing. So what is going to happen? In the remote, whatever code is available in this branch, it will all come into this folder path. And that is what it is. Let's do a git clone. Okay. Currently there is no code, but whatever is available there, it is going to sync into local. Okay. And check it out. This folder, this particular tab is talking about that it is available. We need to understand this in more detail, but let's look at the background side. Repo folder is created. Under that, this demo app repository is created. Under that, feature branch related folder is created. And notice, this .git is a hidden file. So I have enabled hidden files into my laptop, so we are able to see this. So this is what local repository tracking is going to happen with this .git. And there is some file called as git ignore. For now, you can ignore this. Later on, we will discuss about that whenever needed. But please notice, it is not an empty folder. It is some git related, means already some tracking is happening here. Okay. So that is the first part of today. For working with Git, there is a process of the IT industry. Yesterday we started, a sprint is going to start. For the sprint to start, there has to be work. Product owner comes to the Jira, writes down the work in the form of user stories available into backlog. Then sprint planning meeting is going to happen where the entire team comes together, looks at the backlog and finalizes, we will do these 5 things for this sprint. Then work is going to be assigned to members. And then people will say, let's start the 2-week sprint. And we come to the sprint board. Now, every developer is supposed to work. Now, your thought process should be, for this, what is my low-level discussion? Yesterday, we said, you write it down. Okay, what will be your plan of implementation? Which DB, what design patterns, and what is your approach of low-level coding, main classes, and your main methods. The key things you finalize. And then you discuss it with your team lead, maybe whoever is going to review your code, and you will get some inputs during that time. And now you need to start the development. But for starting the development, first question is, which microservice am I supposed to modify? Because you have 100. Then you need to ask a question, okay, which microservice? Maybe only 2. Then you will find these 2 microservices in your Bitbucket. Go to them, create 2 feature branches, one for this, one for that. And now both of them should be cloned into your local. If you have to change only one microservice, then you will do only one. If you have 2, you have to do 2. If you have 3, then you will create 3 feature branches. So in every repository, one feature branch will come. Then all the 3 will be cloned into your local. So that's how it is. Okay? So guys, There is a way of working in the IT industry, and you need to really know this, because this creates the difference in your confidence when you are in that interview. Once you can tell all these things, explain all these things, so practice is required, guys. Okay, so today itself, do the setup, do the practical, and get deeper understanding about every single statement that we are discussing. Okay, let's move further, guys. So this is taken care. So team, let me write down one more line here. One more line here. What is that? What is that? You need to ensure, depending on your feature, how many microservices needs to be affected, how many microservices needs to be changed. You need to do this. Okay, next, for each of the microservice, create feature branch. For each of the microservice, you need to create a feature branch. So if 3 microservice, then for 3 repos, you will create 1 feature branch per repo. Then clone the 3 branches into local. And now comes your next thing. You need to start with your coding. Okay, fine. Guys, this is the first point. This is the first point. Okay, you just mention one-liner conclusion. You have already written that this steps. Let's just write down one-liner conclusion. Install source tree. Next, clone feature branch into local folder and keep your local folder organized. Just mention this as a checkpoint in your understanding. So install the source tree, clone the feature branch into local folder, and then keep your local folder organized. This one-liner will help you to really summarize your current step. Okay. Now we go further. Chalo guys, are you clear with this? Are you done? Please quickly confirm. Then we will go further. Everyone, please quickly confirm. Please write down the statement and then confirm. Please write down the statement and please confirm. Okay, some of the guys are done. Very good, very good. Practice is the key, guys. Please make it happen. Okay, good guys. Thank you for all the confirmations. Let's move forward. Okay, team, thank you for the confirmations. Now we are talking about creating our first Spring Boot application. So let's understand, okay, by what is this Spring Boot, and later will come, okay, we will create the application. But first, what it is, why it is really needed, let's try to understand that. Okay, guys, serious focus is required, because maybe some of you are only core Java and advanced Java guys. You might have not worked on any Spring Boot application. So from that level, we will start the discussion. Okay, that's what, from the very beginning. And even if you have some junior level of experience working on Spring Boot, still this conversation is needed so that you understand it well. So please focus on the next 15 minutes of discussion that we will be having. Okay, everyone, it's a new topic about frameworks and Spring. So let's focus. Frameworks and then Spring and Spring Boot. Okay, let's go. Just imagine, we will take a simple example. You know core Java. And now using core Java, you will write your Java class a.java. And in this class, you will be writing your method. Let's say simple add method. Everybody can write an add method. Int val1, int val2. And then you will simply return this value. Okay. Return val1 plus val2. A simple add method you have written. And now let's say you are running this into your local machine and you are able to take the advantage of this. So everything is happy. But now just imagine, I am sitting in my home and I want to use your functionality which you have written. That's what it happens in the real world. Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, they have their systems running somewhere, and you are sitting in your home, I am sitting in my home, and we are able to access it. Nothing but the functionality which you write will be called by external users, yes or no? So then there are going to be external users. These users wants to call your functionality. That's how we build the project, so that other people across the globe should be able to access this. Now guys, just imagine, you know how to write this kind of a logic of adding two numbers. But do you know how to do programming that they are going to make you a HTTP protocol, which is nothing but a web request? Do you know how to do the coding so that you can receive a web request? You receive a web request. And then once you receive this web request, this request should somehow reach out to your method. And then you execute. So please be aware, you know how to do your functional coding, but you need much more than that. Outer people cannot access your logic. For outer people to access, you need additional logic. For example, how to process web request. Some socket programming will be required. HTTP related concepts will be required. Some additional piece of code is required. And when that code runs, eventually it is going to come to your add method. So guys, please understand, along with your project related coding, if you want to expose your functionality so that outer people can call it, you need to do additional level coding also. Additional code. Now, if you start understanding how to do this, literally a fresher will take a lifetime now. Now you can write how to do basic application development, but if you start doing this, it is going to be a nightmare for you. And just try to imagine, you are a beginner, now you have to learn functional coding as well as these other things. And it is going to take more time. Add, you might do it in 5 minutes, but to write this kind of a layer which can trap HTTP requests, socket programming, and then receiving it, parsing it, giving it to you properly, it is going to be a lot of work. And you do that, and then bugs will come. Even if seniors are doing it, bugs will come, and then bug testing will happen, and then fixing will happen. And just imagine, in some other project, others are also struggling the same way. And that is going to be a problem. Just imagine somebody else has written another piece of code, and the client only expects, hey, give me the code. But now you are saying we have to make it even a web application so that others can use it. So we need to write now, along with actual application code, we need to write these additional code also. Then only people can really access our system. And then we give back and then give back. Client will say, what kind of nonsense you guys are talking? The world is where every time for a simple 5-minute change, now you want to take like what, 1 week every time to build these things, and then it is buggy. So guys, this is a serious problem. Framework is there to solve this problem. All the projects of the world need this additional code. Framework is built for that. The common reusable code, which almost majority of the project needs, is already coded by frameworks. So you don't have to code it. So you can do your ad, but for others to reach to your ad, additional level of coding is required. If you don't use frameworks, you need to build that code, and that is almost impossible task and a very time consuming task. Nobody is going to pay you for that. They will be like, okay, this developer does not really know how to build a real application. So the point is, you need to work with frameworks because it is all very time consuming, and we don't even encourage to do this. Please note, IT always works with frameworks. Every project you go for, frameworks are going to be there. So guys, that is your simple introduction of frameworks. Why framework is required? The common reusable code that majority of the project needs, which is built using industry best practices, okay, and is complex. So framework building is not easy and is really complex and time taking. Okay, that code is already developed by the framework team. So it's not easy. First of all, you have to understand, you need solid maturity to build frameworks. So you have to have respect for that. Okay, everything, somebody else, geniuses have done it, they have built it, and it is available. We can just use it without even coding. So that is where framework. Okay, so when you develop project, you don't code this common logic. Rather, you use this logic provided by framework. What is the advantage? So as a developer, you focus only on your functionality. That is the magic of this, guys. You focus only on your functionality. And guys, everything, the world is using the frameworks, so it is tested, it is stable, it is working. If there are any bugs in the next improvement cycle, those people will fix also. So by the time you start using some framework, automatically it will be stable as well. Maybe when you immediately go to very new frameworks, some problems might be there, but as soon as more releases happen, frameworks will be really stable. And that is what it is. So as a developer, you focus on your functionality and use the framework for reusable code. Guys, are you clear? Are you clear with this understanding? Please quickly confirm. Please quickly confirm. Okay. Framework understanding, very important. Every IT project uses framework, some or the other, whether it is Java, whether it is Python, some or the other frameworks will be there. Now guys, I will start a 2 minutes timer. If somebody asks you, okay, why we need frameworks, what is a framework, what will you explain to them? Please write it. Okay guys, everyone, please write it. Why we need framework? What is framework? Please write it. I'm starting a 2 minutes timer here. Everybody, please continue. Put it into your own words. Why we need framework? What is a framework? Because you have to understand, you don't want to do that kind of code because it is almost a nightmare to build it, and every project building it, crazy. You need ready-made for that, and framework is for that purpose. Okay guys, 2 minutes, write it into your own words. In fact, I will start right now. It's 1 minute 30 seconds timer. Okay. Google stopwatch is not coming. 1 minute timer. Okay. So let's put another. Okay, it's already 1 minute. Please continue, guys. Write it into your own words. When somebody asks about framework, what will be the bullet point answers you will say? Okay, guys, 7 seconds to go. Understand the basic concepts. IT is interesting. Okay, time is up. Guys, are you done with it? Please give a quick confirmation. Okay, multiple members are done. Okay, nice. So guys, now try to understand. Okay, guys, thank you for confirmation. Let's take it one level deep now. So everyone, please focus. So what we are saying, for your project, we should focus on functionality. Reusable things, somebody has already developed it. We will just take it. And guys, in the Java related ecosystem, Spring is a powerful framework. Okay. Please note, Spring Boot is part of the Spring system. So after Spring Boot came in picture, applications became super fast, rapid application development. But basically, Spring Boot is part of the Spring ecosystem itself. So we can say, what is that powerful framework in Java? You should say Spring is the powerful framework in Java. And it has multiple things inside it. Spring Boot is what we are using in the current time. But in order to work with Spring Boot, you need to know the core working of the Spring framework itself. Okay. So all the projects that we start in the current time, we will build a Spring Boot application only. But Spring Boot is part of the Spring ecosystem itself. So we should understand, when we are building Java-based application, the popular framework is Spring and Spring Boot. Okay. So we say popular framework is Spring and Spring Boot. Spring Boot is part of the Spring framework itself. Okay, what does that mean, popular framework? Now, try to understand. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Focus here. In the real world, we took one case. What is our case? That we have some code and we want this code, let's say add method, to be exposed to outer people. Nothing but kind of a web. Across the web, our functionality can be accessed. Okay, so this is our requirement. So what the Spring and the Spring Boot guys did, so let's say Spring system, Spring framework guys did, they wrote some piece of code for that already. They have done the entire coding so that any functionality can be exposed to the outer people. Okay, coding for exposing your functionality. They have done it. So they have written the entire Java code. And guys, you need to understand this thing. Spring is a open source. Nothing but you can also see that code. You can see the framework code. And they have maintained their code in one of a Git hosting provider like GitHub. So Spring related team has also done their coding, and they have kept it inside GitHub as open source. You can also see it. Okay, now they did some coding for this kind of exposing the functionality, and it is available. If you need this thing, you just have to get their code into your project and you get the power. Okay, what is the next point here? How can you get their code with you? Guys, in the form of jar files. So whatever code is available with those guys, it is going to be bundled in a jar file. This jar file is going to be added in your project class path. Project class path. And then we come here. And guys, that is the reason we said at least do one basic JDBC, because there you will already work with jar files for Oracle, for MySQL, add it to the class path. So these terminologies will be easy for you to understand. But even if you don't know, try to learn from this external code done by somebody else. You want it into your project. What do? You bundle that in a jar file and put that jar file into your class path, and then you get that capability. So here you are having your add method, and at the same time this jar file is there. So just automatically you are able to serve external people request. Okay, don't write anything, just observe right now. So what do we see? For the Java related, Spring is the powerful framework. In the current times, all project we start with SpringBoot. SpringBoot is one of the project inside Spring framework itself. Okay, now next, where is the Spring code available of this reusable code? It is available centrally in GitHub itself. Next, how do you get the code? As jar files. Spring framework code will be available as jar files. You can take and add to your project class path, and you will get that kind of behavior. Okay, now you might find, fine, this is good, then why is Spring so powerful and what is the power? Okay, okay, Spring did this. To understand the power of Spring, you need to look at the entire IT industry at a big scope. What does that mean? In the real world, many number of projects are there. You got a requirement that you want to expose your functionality to outer people. Let's say now you get another requirement. I want to talk to external LLMs, which is given by, let's say, Anthropic or OpenAI. So this company is exposing some LLMs, large language models, and you want to integrate with them into your project for getting some dynamic behavior. Again, for that also a lot of code is required. Now, Spring ecosystem is saying, hey, whatever common code, reusable code, we will write it even for that purpose. So if you want to do a GenAI based application development, so the common framework code for that is already available in Spring. So that is for GenAI app development. So you don't have to write that common code. You just need to get this jar file into your project, and now you can do LLM calls so easily because common reusable code is already there. Next, you want to talk to any other external database. You want to talk to any other external database. For doing that, again, we don't want to write all the code of old JDBC connection creation and object creation, SQL statement and execute. We don't do all that. We want that DB code should also be done by framework itself. So that is what, guys, these people, framework guys, have given the common code for any type of application. DB, talking, logic. And like that, whatever popular ways of application development is there in the real world. They have provided the code for all of that. Now, what are you supposed to do? Depending upon your need, you will add the required reusable logic and your project will become that powerful. You only focus on your core business logic. Everything else will be taken care by framework. And Spring is that powerful Java ecosystem framework, which is really adopted massively and has huge capability. It's not something new. It's more than 20 years old. Okay. And it is very powerful. It has grown over a period of time. New and new capabilities. Things have always evolved with the framework. But the point is, any type of application you want to build in the real world, Spring has written some common reusable code for that. Depending upon what application you are building, you just need to take the code, put it in the class path, and you can work with it. Guys, are we clear with this? This is amazing concept. Are you clear with this? Do you understand what is framework? Do you understand the power of Spring? Team, please quickly confirm. Please quickly confirm. Are you getting it? You don't have to write any kind of application of the world. You can just get the jars, put it there, and just work with it. And that's simply amazing. Okay? Very nice, very nice. Multiple members confirming. Awesome. That's what. IT has need. That's where they build some solutions. Very good, guys. Thank you for confirmations. Let's write few notes about this. Then we will go to the next point. Okay. So, guys, please write. In the real world, many types of application can exist. For example, apps exposing logic, okay, as web projects. Next, apps which integrate with LLMs. Next, apps which integrate with DBs. This DB could be SQL DBs, it could be NoSQL DBs, it could be maybe Redis-based stores, Redis kind of systems. So, a lot of things. Now, please understand this point. For all the major applications of the world, we need common reusable logic. You need common reusable logic because we cannot write all those things. It is going to be time consuming. So we need a framework. So we need a powerful framework which can support. And just imagine in future, more things will come. So the framework should be able to grow with time. Otherwise, you use an old framework and nobody is modifying. Now AI came in picture, the frameworks are not supporting AI, then gone, right? So framework should always evolve. Huge community support should be there so that bugs do not come in that. It should be stable. So yes, so a powerful framework is needed. And guys, Spring and Spring Boot is that powerful framework in Java ecosystem. Okay? In Java ecosystem. Just write down one point right now. Why Spring Boot is so like everybody is crazy about Spring Boot? The power is Spring Boot is for rapid application development. Nothing but very fast application development you can do. Once we covered the Spring Boot topic, you will get the power of Spring Boot. But Spring Boot can be used for rapid application development, massive fast. And the beauty of that is you can build any of these applications in a Spring Boot style. You can build a GenAI application in a Spring Boot style, in a rapid application manner. You can build a DB-related logic in a rapid application manner. You can build simple exposing web API in a rapid application manner. That is where Spring Boot is so powerful. First, it is very rapid application development. Second, using Spring Boot, you can build any of these applications in a greater manner. That's where Spring Boot is so powerful. So fine, Spring Boot is one of the project of Spring. But why it is powerful? Because using Spring Boot, you can build any other application in a rapid manner. And that's where Spring Boot is like crazy. People are adopting it, right? So please write down. Spring Boot is for rapid application development. It's just another project in Spring ecosystem. Okay. However, using Spring Boot, you can build any other Spring-based app in rapid application development style. Okay. And that is the reason people are, okay, all new projects use Spring Boot. Currently, when people speak about Spring, they are basically using it as a Spring Boot style itself. Please write down these things. What is it? In the real world, many types of application can exist. App exposing web, talking to LLMs, working with the database, and n number of other applications. For all of this, we need common reusable logic. We don't want to write that. We need a powerful framework which provides us this logic, where it is already coded, tested, proven, best industry practices. We need a framework for that. And Spring and Spring Boot is that. So Spring is that powerful framework. Spring Boot is one of the project inside Spring. But Spring Boot is like rapid application development. Faster development can happen. Very quick to go to the market. Lot of inbuilt features are there. And using Spring Boot, you can build any other type of application. And that's where it is so massively adopted in the industry. Okay, you want to know more about Spring, you should go to spring.io. This is the primary official website of the Spring ecosystem. What Spring can do? Spring can build GenAI based applications, microservice based applications, reactive applications, cloud native applications, regular web applications, serverless applications, event driven applications, batch kind of applications, nothing but different things Spring can do. Okay, so spend some time in reading, spend time with the official documentation to really understand things in deeper manner. So different types of applications can be built using Spring ecosystem. Now, you can imagine in the world, so many types of applications are there. There could be maybe hundreds. How exactly Spring is going to arrange all this code? So Spring is arranging the code in the form of projects and modules. Okay, Spring is arranging the code in the form of projects and modules. Modules are nothing but inside a project, multiple subcategories they can have, and there they are putting in the form of projects and modules. Now, that is the reason when you go here onto the official Spring website, when you choose this project, you will realize, notice, okay, Spring Boot, Spring Framework, Spring Cloud, all these are multiple projects. Okay, let's say click on overview. Look at this. These are all the projects which is developed as part of the Spring ecosystem. Inside these projects, they will have proper documentation. They will have proper GitHub related code and all those links explained how to use each of this project. Now, depending upon your project, you have to choose the right one of the Spring ecosystem and then use it. But yeah, this is what it is. The entire code of the Spring framework is organized in the form of projects and modules. So I will be taking this link and we will be pasting it here. And if you notice, earlier when Spring came into the market, they started with this Spring framework as the project. But as over a period of time, more and more capabilities started happening. They started developing the framework further. And that is where you will see different frameworks have different versions. This guy is running with 7, Spring version 7. Spring Boot is running with version 4. Spring AI, which is latest, is running with version 2. Spring gRPC is running with version 1, because they are enhancing the project based upon the need of the world. New capabilities are being added. Authorization server 1.5, Spring security 7.1, Spring session 4, and so on and so forth. So what is the learning that we are doing here? Spring is such a powerful framework using which you can build any type of application. And for doing that, they have organized their entire code in the form of projects and modules. And we can have a look here. And now you can understand why different projects run at different versions, because they are developed at different time based upon the need of the market. These things are coming up. Now you just have to take the projects, put it into your class path, and just take the advantage of that. Okay. So let's write down a conclusion note about this. Spring organizes the code in the form of project and modules. Spring organizes code in the form of project and modules. Explore official documentation to know more. Spend time with the official documentation. That is a sign of actual developer. Okay, you have to do research. Lot of code examples you can find. Lot of documentation is going to be there, which will help you to understand things properly. Next, GitHub code is going to be available. Open source code is going to be available of the Spring framework. Okay. Now, just write down these things quickly. Code example, sample code of how to do, explanation about that entire project and the module, how to use it in your system. Next, their open source code, everything is available. Now, the point, if you go to this Spring framework project, okay, and then you click on this learn Spring framework overview, they are giving the overview of what exactly this project is going to contain. You go to this learn, you go to this reference docs. This reference docs is going to explain you the Spring framework related concepts, explain you all of these concepts. Now you can keep going through one by one and then understand the Spring deeper. Okay, you want to understand Spring Boot, you go to the Spring Boot project, go to the learn section, go to the reference documentation, and then start learning about Spring Boot. What exactly is Spring Boot? What do you achieve by Spring Boot? And then further deep dive into it. Okay, Spring community, go to the further system requirements, how to install, and furthermore, they have given how to do development, web examples, multiple things are given here. Read how to guide, how to build Spring Boot applications, embedding web servers, Spring MVC, HTTP clients. So their documentation is very detailed. Okay, so that's what we mentioned here. Okay, yes, you can read. So don't write anything, just understand. Visit any project /learn/reference document, right? Reference doc. You will get to know more about that framework there. Okay, fine. Now, let's say you are here in Spring framework. Go to this overview section and official Spring framework wiki page. This is the source code and documentation which they have hosted on GitHub. You want to see what code is available inside the Spring framework project? Okay, just go to this code section and you will be able to find, just see code available here. This is the entire code section of Spring framework. You can open these things, let's say Spring Core, and now SRC, okay, main, Java, and then let's say AOT, and then maybe generate, and then see, all this is code. They have all made this code available. Now, this is the open source code. Now, depending upon what you are building, these guys have already written the code here. And that is what we said today. Okay, yes, when you're working with framework in GitHub, the code is already available, but it is organized very nicely in the form of multiple projects and modules. And that is what we saw here. So when you go back to this Spring framework, you have these things, these are multiple modules inside the Spring framework: Spring ORM, Spring OXM, Spring Test, Spring Web Plus, multiple modules. That is a way of grouping. But now, as we see, you have your code also available here. So whatever we saw, yes, it's practically available. Okay, guys, are we clear with this? I will paste these few links as part of today so that you can do some exploration as well. Team, please quickly confirm. Are we clear with this? So what are the bullet points? Chalo guys, please quickly confirm. Okay, very nice, very nice. But yeah, let's write down. Now I think you should be able to discuss framework and then Spring. This is practical knowledge. Now you can get as deeper as want in theory, but practical knowledge is required for developers. So guys, let's focus on that. Okay. So guys, what exactly? Let's write down these conclusions together, team. Step number 1. We need framework for building application. Step number 2. Spring and Spring Boot, okay, are powerful frameworks in Java ecosystem. Step number 3. Okay, Spring code is arranged in GitHub because it is an open source project. Next, explore Spring official documentation to know about their features. Next, explore the GitHub documentation to check the framework code. Okay, this is what is the point here. To check the framework code. Fine, please complete this. Now, let's move to the next point. Okay, now let's discuss the next point. How will you get this code into your project? We said it will come in the form of jar file. But guys, they have many projects, many sub-projects. Maybe their entire code might not come in one jar file. They might have many jar files there, maybe 10, maybe 15, we don't know. They might have many jar files. One jar file, let's say f1.jar, is internally dependent on something else, f2.jar, which internally is dependent on f3.jar. There could be n number of ways, right? We don't know how they have done the coding. But please note, their projects have many kind of jars also possible. Now, if you want to add them into your project, it should be easy. Otherwise, this will be really confusing. So guys, there are two concepts that we need to work with. Concept number 1 is Spring Boot has given the feature of starter. There is a concept of Spring Boot starters, which will help you to manage these jars properly. And starters we apply using a dependency management tool or a build tool using Maven. So how do you get these jars, the appropriate jars, into your project? Two concepts are there: SpringBoot starters feature and using a build tool like Maven. This will help us to resolve the dependencies, find the right thing, and give it to you. So as a developer, you are not going to find each jars and which is dependent on what. We don't want to spend our time there. The tools will do the work for us. Guys, there is a need of everything. That's where it is there. And we have to understand that and use that. So guys, let's write down the next point. In order to get the Spring framework code into your IDE for working, we need to use two features or tools, which is nothing but Spring Boot starters feature, and the second one is Maven build tool. Please write it down. In interview, they might discuss. All these are very technical, basic information, and everybody should know this. Today, we are going to do only introduction of Spring and Spring Boot. Okay. Later, we will do coding in Spring and Spring Boot. That is a different topic altogether. Okay, let's move further. Now, we want to build our first Spring Boot application. We want to build our first Spring Boot application, where as simple as that, let's say add method, we want to expose to outer world. Now we took this example, so let's build this simple thing. You will do your coding of add method, but you want the external world to call your application. And we want to make it as a Spring Boot application. Okay. Now there is one more clarity which you should have before we really start building this application. Please note, guys, everyone, please focus. This is all very important technical information. Everybody should 100% know this. Guys, everyone, please focus. Currently in the world, or even since ages, if you have a project, okay, so front end and back end were built together. Even currently, there are some projects where this is happening, but most of the projects of the current time, almost majority, have split these two things. So a very long time, maybe in one project itself, you will have the front end kind of code, HTML, CSS, JavaScript and stuff, and even the backend related code, whatever you're writing in one project itself. However, since long time, now most of the projects have split this. There is a separate project for front end, separate project for back end. So this is the front end related code, and this is going to be a back end related code. So we are not mixing the back end code with the front end part. For many projects, this is the scenario. However, sometimes you might still find some projects where they are mixed in together, but a very big part of the industry have split these two. Front-end development is happening separate, back-end development is happening separate. Simple reason for that is both the systems are evolving like anything. In the earlier times, in front-end, that big innovations were not going on. But now front-end is also having so many frameworks. React is there, Angular is there, Vue.js is there, and they have their own Bootstrap, CSS. They have their own frameworks now. We don't want to mix all of that as part of the one big bulky project. So front-end project is separate, back-end project is separate. So here it is going to have your, let's say, Java-related coding that we will be doing here. Again, project to project scenarios will be different, but yeah, this is a common practice. You move the front end separate, you move the back end separate. Okay, that is the first point. Let me write it down. You don't write anything, just try to understand. Okay, split your project. So front end is as a separate application and backend is a separate application. Okay, now comes the next point. Guys, focus on these basics. Now let's say you code all this. So in your Bitbucket, there is going to be a separate repository for this, maybe repo 1, and this is going to be a repo 2. Like this, as two different repositories, we will maintain this in Bitbucket. Now what will happen? You are, let's say, deploying this on AWS environment, let's say production environment. So what will happen? You have a production system now. In the production system, both these softwares are deployed and they are executed separately. Maybe in same machine, maybe in different machine, doesn't matter. So there could be this one machine which front end is executed, another machine where back end is executed. So this could be any kind of machine, let's say a virtual machine. In AWS, common one is EC2. So on one EC2, you are running the backend. On another one, you are running this one. And guys, this is your production AWS environment. So the coding will be done in your laptops. It will be finally available into your repositories. It will be merged to the main branch, and then it is going to be deployed onto your infrastructure. That's the process of working. Let me repeat once more, guys. Focus. Coding is going to happen in your local machine. It is going to be finally kept inside your Git repositories in Bitbucket. Finally, it is merged to main branch, and then it is deployed into some infrastructure like AWS, Azure, or GCP, Google platform. But finally, yeah, this is the process. Now what happens? Once it is available, we need to understand your services are not exposed to the outer world directly. You will have some entry-level softwares here in between. These entry-level softwares could be something like a load balancer, or it could be a API gateway, or it could be a Nginx. Basically, these are something technically called as reverse proxy softwares. What is this reverse proxy behavior? Outer world don't connect directly to your services. In the outer world, whenever anybody wants to talk to your application, let's say using a browser, we need to know the big picture where everything sits. So let's say somebody is using a browser and they access your website. The request does not come to your front-end application or back-end application. The request comes to this entry-level software, which is the reverse proxy software. It could be load balancer, it could be Nginx, it could be API gateway, it could be any other kind of software. But entry-level software is going to be there. Then entry-level software is going to decide, oh, this request is coming for our front-end application. It will redirect the request here, get the front-end code, whatever JavaScript, images, and everything, and then it is going to load that back to your browser, and then the application gets launched into your browser. Then the application gets launched into your browser. Now, let's say in the browser, you're trying to do some actions. So what does this mean? Front-end application is deployed into your infrastructure, but it executes into the client machines. Hope you're getting that. Front-end application is coded by the developer, deployed into the infrastructure, and then executes into the browser client machine. Now just imagine on this browser, now there are some action buttons, maybe sign up, login, post, write an article. Some functionality is further executing. Then what is going to happen? Then in that case, the request is going to come from this browser again to the same entry-level software, load balancer, Nginx, and all these guys. And here the routing logics will be there. So all the routing logic will be there. Okay, when a request comes earlier for the web, it should go to the web. But if button clicking related options are happening, it's a different kind of a request. Now this has to further go internally to our backend system. And then the code runs here in the backend system. And then whatever activity it is, finally it comes back, and then the response will be provided, whether it is success, failure, whatever. Guys, this is the big picture, how your application behaves into production. I will repeat once more, but take a minute to absorb. Don't lose your focus. These are important things. These will be discussed during your interview discussions. These are basic skills. Every developer should have these skills. What really goes on in the world, you should be aware of that. Otherwise, how can you call yourself a developer if you don't know how the real technical world works? And in interview, they try to check your knowledge across real world applications also. So practice this, gain the knowledge, understand the concepts. Okay, everybody, I'm repeating it once more. Please put your full attention, guys. Everyone 100% attention. Let's go one more round. The coding, we don't do front end and back end together as one projects anymore. Majority of the projects have split the two things separate. Front end code is separate, back end is separate. Simple reason, both of them are big frameworks and evolving, changing, whatever. So they are now managed separately for many of the projects. These two will be managed as separate repositories into your Bitbucket. Both are Git projects managed separately. You do whatever coding and all that and testing everything. Finally, code will come to the main branch and deployed into your production infrastructure. And they are both running as two separate softwares also. Next, some entry-level software is going to be the load balancer, API gateway, Nginx. These are nothing but some reverse proxy softwares. What is their work? They will just take the incoming request, do some decision making on top of that, and give it further. That is where these kind of softwares are available. Now, using API gateway, Nginx, some additional logic can also be written, and even some AWS security rules will be applied here, like WAF rules, web application firewall rules. So anyways, let's not get there. But yeah, some kind of additional logics checks can happen on this layer. And then the request will decide, this engine will decide, is this request coming for your front-end application? Then it is going to be routed to the front-end application, and then it takes it and then gives it back. And then the entire UI is loaded onto the screen. So what is about the front end? It is developed by the developer in his local machine, committed into Git within Bitbucket, and then finally comes to the main branch and then gets deployed into production, one of the machine, and is running there on some server. And then when the request comes in, this guy redirects, the code goes into the browser and it executes here. So front end is developed here, deployed here, executes here. Point number 2, when the user takes some action, again the request comes back to the entry level software. Then again this routing decision will happen. Okay, where should I really go to? And now this request will be identified. It's a backend request, and then it is going to go to the backend service. And then here the code will execute in the backend, do whatever DB work, this, that logic, and then return the response. And the response will go back to the front end, and it will be displayed whether it is successfully done, not done, whatever. Guys, this is how the projects are built up. Okay, let's write down few notes about this concept. Everybody, okay? Let's write down some notes about this. It's a general practice to build and deploy front-end and back-end application as two separate projects. Okay, this one line covers a lot of information. Still, you might find some projects where it is combined together, but again, as more adoption is happening, yeah, people are building it separate, easy for maintenance, a lot of things. It's a general practice to build and deploy front-end and back-end applications as two separate projects. Next, it will be deployed in your infrastructure like AWS, which is by Amazon, Azure, which is by Microsoft, GCP, which is nothing but by Google. These are simply called as the big three. Okay, people might use this term, the big threes: AWS, Azure, GCP. It will be deployed on this infrastructure. Next, the internal services will never be exposed directly to the outer world. Okay. Next, you will have some entry level software. Okay. Also, sometimes people refer to it as reverse proxy software. In the form of what? Load balancer. Write it down, guys. Write it down. In the form of load balancer, API gateway, or something like Nginx, or any number of other entry-level servers might be running. Okay. New request comes to this entry-level software, and now sometimes there could be business logic, sometimes only routing, but further routed to your application. Okay. For now, just write it till this point, then we will discuss one more topic. Then routed to your application. Okay, let's understand another technical topic. Everybody, please focus. Everyone, please put your full attention. Strong understanding about this is required. How does this entry-level software decide whether I should go here or whether I should go here? Now, there is another software which exists here. Okay, a DNS, domain name system. Nothing but domains will be there. For example, xyz.com. So in the real world, we will have these kind of domains, xyz.com. In domain naming server, let's say, for example, GoDaddy or Cloudflare, or again, n number of softwares are available in the real world. So in these kind of softwares, they are going to do the mapping of the domain. xyz.com is going to be mapped to the IP address of this entry-level software. So xyz.com is going to be mapped to the entry software IP. This kind of mapping is going to come, guys, in DNS. And you have to understand this one point. In the real world, whenever this web communication is happening, web communication happens on what protocols? HTTP and HTTPS. So there is a standard concept. HTTP request will be served on port number 80. HTTP request will be served on port 80. HTTPS request will be served on 443. Okay. So accordingly, your entry level, guys, please understand, in the real world, whenever you want to talk to any server software, you need to know their IP address and then you need to know the port. That's where we said do basic JDBC. In JDBC, you will understand you're trying to connect to your Oracle database, MySQL database. They also run on some port. That's what basics, core Java, and at least one JDBC application. If you do, it will be easy for you to understand the real world. We are not going to use JDBC, but it will teach you so much. Jars, dependencies, exception handling, how to really work on ports and external softwares. Practice it. You need to upgrade yourself. If you are finding this conversation a bit new to you, What are you doing on this planet? You want to get into a technology world, and all this information is available on web. You need to research more. You cannot be a child in the current time saying, I just know core Java, hire me for that. It's not going to work out. You ask AI and AI will give you all the information. This is what is going on. The candidates are saying, a company should hire us and train us. Companies are saying everything is available on internet. Learn, get some knowledge. So we know that you are a self-learner. That itself is your criteria for shortlisting and hiring. And if you don't do that, companies are like, this guy is not a self-learner. So spoon feeding will come to you every time. It's not going to happen. The world does not wait for you. You need to become ready and the world will grab you. Nobody is going to spoon feed. Nobody is going to give you time to become successful. You need to take actions and make yourself successful. And it is tremendous hard work. School time is over, college time is over, babysitting time is over. It's time to take responsibility of your life, and only you can do that. Okay? So thoda sa start pushing yourself. One day at a time, start becoming better. One day at a time, start taking responsibility of your life. Learn more, upgrade more, hunt for the job, become self-sufficient, become capable. Results will happen if you become capable. You want to sit and cry and complain, future might not be good for you, because crying, complaining people will be lost in these ups and downs of life. Welcome to real world, my friend. Welcome to 2026. Your new decade is going to start now. You can cry, complain, blame, but the future is going to be still very hard for you. Life does not get easier. You become tough so that then your life becomes easy for you. And if you're not becoming hard, life is going to torture you and put you down every single time you try to do something. And that is life. And you need to understand that the sooner you do, the successful you will be. Crying, complaining is not going to change the world for you. Blaming excuses, not going to change the world for you. Taking ownership of your life situation, making a decision that I will succeed, and then working on that decision to make your dreams come true. That's where you will succeed. So now let's understand this deeper. Done is done, past is past, but from today you can change. If you want to get better, today you can become better. Fine, past is done. Don't cry, complain. Gone is gone. Today you have. What do you do today? Will you watch this entire session one more time? Will you take every topic, dissect it deeper, go to AI, research it more, prepare it so strongly so that, okay, you know what you're talking about. And 80% who are there going for interview, they don't know what they are talking about and they will be rejected, but not you, because you worked on your dreams and you got better, and that's where life will reward you. Become better, guys. Become better. Let's recap this one more time. Push yourself. Let's recap this one more time. In the real world, yes, the domains are there. When somebody goes to the browser, we don't use IPs, we use the domains. The browser is having internal logic to look for the domain mapping. So it is going to take this xyz.com and it is going to go to that place and get the corresponding IP address. For example, if you go to, let's say, command prompt, there are some commands, ns lookup, let's say google.com. This is the corresponding IP address of the Google server, which is the DNS near to me is giving me this. When you try, you will get some IP from maybe your IP location. But when we type this kind of a domain, there is a corresponding IP mapped behind the screen, IPv4, IPv6, IP mapped behind the screen, and you get that into your local. Next, when you operate on a HTTP call, you will try to connect onto this IP on 80 port. When you try on a HTTPS call, you will reach out to 443 port. That's how these ports are going to be the standard communication in the world. Next, the setup is going to be done in this manner. If xyz.com is coming, after that there is no path. Okay, or if xyz.com is coming and there is some special type of path, those requests should go to this place. routing configurations are going to be decided here. If xyz.com is coming and maybe some path, whichever makes sense to the front end guys, then redirect the request here. And then when this entire journey goes back, maybe people might create another domain for your backend application, which could simply be api.xyz.com. And then that request comes here. So load balancer or this entry software will understand if the request is coming from api.xyz.com, I need to give it at the backend system, not give it to the front end. Or they might simply decide, okay, we will still use xyz.com itself, but our path is going to be maybe /API. Then this guy is going to understand anything xyz.com/API, give it back to the backend system. Other than that, whatever comes, give it to the front end. N number of ways are there to make it possible. But understand, whenever an incoming request comes, it is going to be a HTTPS request. It is going to have a URL, excalidraw.com, google.com, youtube.com, / something else might be there. Based upon those request URL and the path, it is going to decide where to go. Should I go here? Should I go there? Right? And then accordingly, the serving is going to happen. Okay. This is the big picture, how the world really operates. Let's take some notes about this thing, and then we will move to the next topic. Everybody, please put your attention. You might be aware of these things, but yeah, recap it. Start from the basics. Understand the responsibility of being a developer. It's not a child game. It's ownership game. The more you know, the better softwares you can build, right? So guys, let's write it down. Deploy your front end and back end in AWS prod infra. Point number 1. Point number 2, your external entry level software IP should be mapped to corresponding domain in DNS system. Should be mapped to corresponding domain in the DNS system. Next, when browser uses a domain, it will get the mapped IP of entry level software. Next, if you are making HTTP request, it connects on entry level software on 80 port. Next, these are standard ports. If you are making HTTPS request, it connects on entry level software on 443 port. These are standard ports. Next, based on the domain or path, entry level software will decide where to redirect the request to. Okay, and accordingly rest of the flow will happen. Accordingly rest of the flow will happen. Chalo guys, very good. Please write down this. Everybody please write down this. Work on yourself guys, every single day. Get better. Don't waste time, don't lose time. Okay, every day once you utilize for your self growth, you will become so strong, nobody will be able to stop you. You have to put time into this. There is magic not going to happen. You have to work for that. Tremendous amount of work is required guys. There is no shortcut to success. You need to work for it, and you have to be patient, and you have to keep doing it every single day, whether you like it or not. That's how you build success guys. Okay, chalo, once you have written with this, please quickly confirm. Chalo everyone. Once you are done with this, please quickly confirm. Okay, multiple members done it. Very good, very good, very good, very good. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं guys. Let's move forward. Now we can confidently build our first Spring Boot application because we understand the first Spring Boot app that we have is a Java backend project. Okay. Now, this is also the framework team has really simplified. Okay, you want to build your first Spring Boot application? Many ways are there. We will follow one of the way. Spring team itself has created one URL called as Spring Initializer. Okay, start.spring.io. This is called as Spring Initializer. Guys, it is so simple. You fill up some of the details here, click on generate, you will get your first project. The life has to be simple. Even coding and all, everything has to be really very simple, easy to do, even for new guys to adapt. So industry will have a lot of tools for this purpose. So it's not like you have to write every single line by yourself. You can ready-made use stuff. You can use your IDE, which can create it, or you can come to this kind of Spring Initializer, fill up some details as per the application that you want, click on generate, and your first application is ready. Later, you take this into your project and start making modifications on top of this. So we are going to follow this approach. Start.spring.io, we will use this for creating our first Spring Boot application. Okay, now some learnings are going to come from this. Please note, you can create your Spring Boot application not just in Java, but also in Kotlin, Groovy, other programming languages also. Okay. What is this Kotlin and Groovy? These are JVM based languages. So finally, when you are executing even this, it operates on the JVM. Even Java is like that. So Spring Boot application can be built in all of these three layers also. Okay. And I think if you go here somewhere, let's go to the framework initial layer. Just see into the Spring related code, how much contribution in what programming language it is. The Spring framework, whatever you see here, 97% is coded in Java. However, there is Kotlin 2.3%. There is Groovy is nothing basically, but Kotlin is taking still 2.3. Using Kotlin also, they created some piece of code here. But again, please be aware that both of these two options, Kotlin and Groovy, these are JVM based languages. When you're finally executing it, it is JVM which will run. And yes, we can build Spring Boot application using that also. But we are going to focus on Java based application development to build a Spring Boot system. Okay, next. We already told about this. Whenever we are building this kind of an application, we need to get these jars with us somehow. So for that, some build tool is required. We said Maven. So here we need to choose that. Yes, for Java based, we want to go ahead with Maven kind of a software. Next, Spring Boot. Which version you want to use of Spring Boot? So the Spring Initializer is to create a Spring Boot project. We already discussed Spring Boot is really powerful, using which you can build any kind of technical project of the current time. And yes, that is where industry is mass using Spring Boot only. Current latest stable version of Spring Boot is this one, 4.1.0. Wherever you see this in something in bracket, that means it's not fully stable and released to day-to-day use. But whichever is not having anything in bracket, that is the latest stable launches. So for our first experiment, let's use this. When we work in the project, we will be using Spring Boot 3.x. Okay, Spring Boot 3.x. And with that, we will use Java 17. So this is going to be our combination. Let's come back to the topic. So Java we are choosing. Build tool Maven we are choosing, which will help us to resolve all the jars and dependencies. Spring Boot latest stable version for our demo application we are choosing. Okay, next, there are some configurations which comes in picture to know about the project. So project metadata, nothing but some additional information about your project. Multiple things are there. First is group. Everybody try to focus. First is group. What is group? Which company has developed this software? Okay, which company has developed this software? For example, if the company developing the software is xyz.com, okay, whatever is the company domain, then the group is going to be reverse of that, nothing but com.xyz. That is how group is going to be identified. So this tells which company is really building that application. So reverse of the company domain is going to be the group. Understand these concepts one by one. It is very simple, very straightforward, and these are basics. So we should definitely know all of these things in clarity. So yes, this is project metadata, means additional information about this project that we are creating. So which company is creating it? You will generally do it as a reverse of your actual group domain. So if it is xyz.com, it will become com dot like this. If it is google.com, it will become com.google, and so on and so forth for different companies. Okay, so that is group. Next, artifact. Okay, for understanding the artifact, please note the way this project is built. After that, it prepares a jar file, and the jar file we take into our project, right? Similarly, when you build your backend application, you want to execute this into AWS infrastructure. Here also same process will be there. You will somehow run some Maven commands like mvn package, and this is going to prepare a jar file. Okay, let's say myfile.jar, and then this jar file will be copied into this infrastructure and executed there. Same process. Now, this artifact term helps in guiding what exactly is going to be the final artifact which will be prepared from your project. The jar file, what exactly that is going to look like, we can specify using this artifact related entry. So we can simply say, hey, it is going to be demo. So that is what is the second thing, artifact. Okay, when you build your project, what final outcome, okay, jar name, so we are going to use that as artifact. Next, we know core Java, we know that we can write packages. So all the projects in IT will have a proper package. Okay, and there is a concept here called as base package. So this becomes base package. Generally, which company it is there, nothing but your group. Okay, so here if you say your group is com.example, so for your base package, initially group will be assigned, and then after that you can choose something which defines your project. So you can directly use your artifact name, or if you want to rename it something, but it should identify the project that you are building. So please be aware, base package is the concept, which is nothing but your group plus some information about what project. So looking at this package, people will understand, oh, it is a demo project built by xyz.com. So the packaging is also going to give clarity for people. It is demo project which is built by xyz.com. Means XYZ company has built this demo project. That is how this is. Okay. Please be aware, what is the meaning of base package? It means all the Java classes you will write will be inside this package or its sub packages. Don't worry, I will repeat all this once more. Okay, but right now be in the flow, catch up the topic one by one. Base package, What is that? Base package is a combination of two things. What company developed it and what project it is. Generally, company develop means using group ID, you can get that. So using group, you can understand that. Project means some information about the project. Next, what is the next concept you should understand here? Base package means all Java code you write will be in this base package or its sub package. This is a mandatory thing to do. You cannot write something like this, com dot example dot or com dot example 2 dot xyz, and here you are writing a.java. No, that's not the way to do it. It's an industry practice that wherever is the base package, in that package itself, you can write your new Java classes or even its sub packages. So you can write something like this. In demo, you can write a.java, b.java, or you can make demo dot, let's say, controller. Next, under controller, you can write my controller.java. You can write something like n number of sub packages could be there. Dot service, dot interfaces. Here you can write, let's say, my service interface. So, but the point is, everything belongs in a base package, and that is what this point is here. Okay, guys, are we clear with this? Please quickly confirm. Team, everybody, could you please confirm? Are we clear with this? Chalo, guys. Today we are only going to create this project, download it. Rest of the journey tomorrow we will do. So execution we will not be doing today. Okay. Chalo, guys, please quickly confirm. Okay. Nice. Nice. Multiple members are there. Multiple members confirming. Awesome. Let's go further, guys. Okay. So please open up your notepad and let's start writing one by one. Okay, everyone, please open up your notepad and let's start writing one by one. So first we will go create your first SpringBoot app using Spring Initializer. Create your first SpringBoot app using Spring Initializer, which is start.spring.io. Okay. Next, what is the next point? You can build SpringBoot app using Java or other JVM based languages, but we will use Java. Okay. Next, use Maven as your build tool for all your jar management and stuff. Okay. Next, choose latest stable Spring Boot version. Choose latest stable Spring Boot version. It's 1:15 right now, guys. In 15 minutes, we will be completing the topic. Choose latest stable Spring Boot version. Next, project metadata, nothing but additional information. Group, which will say what company developed this project. What is group, guys? What company developed this project? General practice is reverse of the company domain. For example, google.com is the company domain. So the group is going to be com.google. Okay. That's what it is. So what is a group? It identifies which company is developing this code, generally reverse of the domain, because domain names are unique. So it can clearly tell okay, which guys are doing this. Okay, fine. Next, artifact. Artifact. After building your project, some final output will come. Where does that go? That is artifact. Okay. What should be the name of that? What should be the name of that? So you can guide it using the artifact entry. Nothing but your .jar file. Next, package name. All Java code should belong in the base package, either directly in base package or its sub packages. Don't write any Java code outside this, outside base package. General terminology of base package. Okay, you will do something like group and then dot, something which identifies your project. Okay, so generally let's say com dot google dot maybe first app or demo, whatever is your project, you can put the details accordingly. Okay, know a few things. Package naming conventions, all small case, no space, no hyphen, no underscore. Generally, you don't do that. And yes, you want further, you do dot separated. Okay, dot separated. So this is the naming convention. Everything small case, don't use any of this thing. No space, no hyphen, no underscore. And if you want to add more, you can just keep doing dot separated. Demo dot this, dot this, this, dot this, right? So this is what. Just be aware. That is package name. Okay, guys, once you are done till this point, please quickly confirm. Then we will take the attendance and we will complete we will download this project. Okay, hold on. We have like 11 minutes. Please confirm till this point. Tomorrow we will resume from the same place wherever we stopped today. And further we will work on this code that we are getting right now. Okay, very good. Thank you for confirmations. Let's move further, team, and let's complete the rest of the activities. So here we are. We have filled all of these sections. Finally, when we build our project, we want the jar file. So there is a var version, but almost all the projects in my past many years, we are always using jar-based deployment. So it is even a recommended practice to use jar-based deployment. So we will use the jar-based deployment. When you do coding, some configuration property files will be there, configuration files will be there. So there are two ways of writing the configurations, either property files or YAML. Different projects might choose different style of configuring it. Nothing but key value pairs. Whenever you build a project, some configuration data can be there in the form of key value pairs. Either you can choose a property file for that or a YAML structure. Okay, so later we can have a comparison. You can go to simple AI and simply say, okay, give 3 examples of how dot properties and how dot YAML looks like. It's only different way of representing the data. Okay, and just notice configuration data, basically key and value. So in property format, it will be represented like this. In YAML format, the representation is different. Okay, so server, then colon, and then in a new line, you can write port, colon, and then the value. So basically, just two different ways of representing the configuration data. So please be aware, for every project, some configuration data could be there. You have to decide whether you will use property file or whether you will use YAML file. Both of the approaches are common industry practices. People use either of it. Okay, so now whichever you are using in the project, consistently use that across all your microservices. Anything is fine. Okay, so it is a developer choice again. So we will come here and then we will be choosing one of the file, let's say property file, and then Java version 17 we will be doing. Okay, so this talks about the left hand side of the story. Now right hand side, you have to now decide key what dependencies you want, nothing but what capabilities of framework you want. So we want a capability that we can expose our add method to the outer people. Nothing but it's kind of make it a web application so that others can access. So they have created some configuration like this. Simply type web. So notice the Spring team has very easily arranged the dependencies for you. By just using this Spring Web, you can build a web application. Now, there is some concept called as RESTful APIs. We will discuss those things in future. But yes, using simple Spring Web, if you add, you can build a web-based applications where others can access you over the web. You can expose REST APIs. You can build traditional MVC-based application where front-end and the back-end both are mixed together. And okay, for running a web application, you need some server like Apache Tomcat is going to be by default provided. Nothing but please note, in order to build a web application, we need some set of things. If you just add this dependency, you will get everything into your project. You don't have to manually go and do anything. So everything is based upon the need. For example, you want to add, let's say, OpenAI, the ChatGPT guys, OpenAI company. You want to add their system. So you can simply just add this and you will have now the capability of OpenAI into the project. So the point to be discussed here is Spring team has made very nice dependency accessible for us. You just come here, choose whatever you want with some simple names. You can scroll through this. So many things are available. Now, depending upon your need, you can just take the dependency and you are going to get it. Okay. And if you click on this explore, so our requirement is what? Add method, we want outer people to access. So we just need the web dependency. So we are choosing a Spring Web project. Okay. And generally many projects will have the web that itself as the major thing. And whatever other things you need, you will add it depending upon your need. And if you go to this explore, it is saying, I will give you this kind of a project. Okay. And notice, whenever you use Maven, Maven configurations will be coming in pom.xml file. And no need to get into the complexity, just understand. Maven will help you to get the jars properly, dependency managed and stuff. And Maven configurations are in pom.xml. And notice this statement here, SpringBoot starter. So this is a SpringBoot feature. Using this starter related configuration, a lot of dependencies will be automatically coming to you. You don't have to manually go and get all the required jars. So guys, this is where it is. Using Maven and your proper starters, internally the system is going to go and get you the needed jars, which will give you the capability to make a web application, expose REST API, build a traditional MVC based application, and even have a server where you can run your application. What is this server and all? Tomorrow we will discuss, but that's it. You want to make a web application where your add method can be called by outer people. That's how simple you do it. You fill up the details, you simply choose web. You don't even have to know which jar file you need to add. You just have to logically understand, I want a web project, let me choose Spring Web. That's it. And once you do this, click on the generate, and yes, a jar file is going to come to you. Okay, you click here, a jar file is going to come to you. And guys, this jar file is having your first Spring Boot application. That's it. You got a jar file which is having your first Spring Boot application. Now, what is there as part of that? How to further do the coding, how to do the execution, everything is part of tomorrow's topic. So guys, today, whatever we discussed, I would like you to watch the entire session again. I will be sharing the tasks with you in our WhatsApp group. Practice and complete those tasks and prepare it to explain it strongly during interview. Bitbucket related setup you should do, source tree you should have, and you should create an application from start.spring.io, download it. Till this point, you should also have it ready. Additionally, I will suggest you go to this Spring, okay, spring.io tools. And here you can download IDE. For example, I am going to demonstrate using Eclipse IDE. If you want something else, you can get that. It is completely your choice. But I will be using Spring.io tools, Eclipse. Some Spring related setup is there already. They have taken Eclipse, bundled it with some Spring capability. So that one I will use. And whichever latest one, like Windows or Mac or Linux, whatever is your OS, accordingly install and keep the IDE ready. You want to use some other IDE, you can do that. So guys, even have this setup ready with you, because tomorrow we will continue. So what are the things? Your Bitbucket account should be ready, and repo and branching should be ready. Next, clone in local should be ready. Next, create your Spring Boot app using start.spring.io. Whatever we did, everything should be ready. Okay, guys, chalo, let's take the attendance for today. And tomorrow we will resume from the same place. Okay, so we will learn further other things, how you transition into coding. But yeah, these are important things every one of us should know. Let me share you the attendance link, and then we will be connecting tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Okay, guys. So these are the number of people who have marked the attendance yesterday, live or even later on following the recordings, around 850 members. Guys, consistent attendance is going to be helping you to build good project. So don't miss any topic, because every topic is very important. All throughout the 2 months, every topic is very important. Okay, and definitely it will be huge value for you. You should not miss any session. Okay, chalo guys, everyone. Code for today is 7777, and here is the link. Okay, chalo guys, everyone, please mark this attendance. And those of you who are new and not into any WhatsApp group, I would suggest you to join this WhatsApp group. Okay, so here we will share the recordings, materials, and the rest of the updates. Okay, chalo guys, please mark your attendance. Please do this. And whatever we did live, everything you have to finish today. It's 1:30. We will be stopping the call now. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. And guys, see you all later. Okay. So guys, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Let me stop the screen share. Stop presenting. Okay, guys. Please mark this attendance and please join the WhatsApp group. We will be connecting tomorrow morning for the day 3 continuation will happen. So try to complete all the today's topic today itself. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. So I'm stopping the stream. Bye team.